There we go. We're in day 15. Utopia. Nom. Mm. I will avoid eating too much during the stream. However, I will be eating. Just a quick heads up. When I wake up, the sun is already way up. The sunlight coming in from the outside is faint, and the room is dim. I can feel it's still last night. I shake my head violently. It's cloudy outside. No wonder I didn't wake up. It seemed my sleep-deprived body caught up on sleep, taking advantage of the darkness of the room. It seems it's already past 1 o'clock. Ooh, wow. If you remember, Shiro usually sleeps like to 6, and that's it. Oversleeping this much can't just be called sleeping in. Saber, are you awake? There's no answer. Saber's sleeping next to me, slightly curled. I wake up when I'm not sleepy anymore, but Saber has to recover her magical energy. Considering how long she slept before, she probably won't wake up until dinner. I leave the room, trying not to wake Saber up. There's no need to wake her up right now. Contest begins at night. I don't think if Lancer or Gilgamesh will appear during the day. So, I have to come up with a plan. Putting Lancer aside, Gilgamesh will certainly come again tonight. I don't even need to think about considering his personality and his murderous intent he showed last night. But what should I do? He has an infinite supply of noble phantasms, and one of them even exceeds Saber's Excalibur. Berserker was a difficult enemy to defeat, but we still could fight him, even though we were inferior. We could look for a chance for a comeback even when he was pushing us. But he's different. There won't be even a fight right now. If he uses that noble phantasm called Ea, we will all die. I have to find a way. There isn't long before the sunset. There's no solution if I think on my own. If Saber Tosaka and I can't think of a plan, then the church, as the supervisor, he might know. Might know of a way to overcome this situation. King of Heroes, Gilgamesh. Kudamine Kire said find measures against the survivor of the Last Holy Grail War. We can't find a countermeasure, but that priest might already come up with a plan. I go up the hill. The sky is filled with grey clouds. The church is the only thing on top of the hill. There's no one in sight, not even the sound of birds. Is it because of the dark sky? It looks more ominous than holy. Well, yeah, because if memory serves, Kira had put up a bounded field here, actually. Metaphorically, it feels like gallows. Going up a long hill, through a large courtyard, prosecuted before God and falling to hell. What am I talking about? That's not just a metaphor. In the beginning, a church is a place where people die. A hospital is a place where they try to prolong life. At the same time, it is also a place where people face death. A church is the same. In those terms, no place has more deaths than here. The wind is cold. Fastening my collar, I go up the stairs to the church. Kotomine, I came to talk. Enter the chapel. There's no one in here. Kotomine. Is he in the back again? Walking between chairs, I walk to the altar. Dry sound echoes through the chapel. It must have been designed for echoes when footsteps fill the room. Kotomine, you're not here. I call out in a soft voice. It's certainly strange. I should be calling out in a loud voice if I'm calling for someone. No, he's somewhere in the back, so I should be calling out in a loud voice. I advance, keeping my voice quiet, the footsteps quiet, expressing my presence. Is it because the chapel is so magnificent? I feel like as soon as I reveal my presence, something will surround me and cut my head off, or disgracing God or something. Pass the chapel and get out into the court. I think Kotomine's room is. I advance with quiet footsteps. The church is complicated, and I don't know where Kotomine's room is. My memory is vague, so I know I won't be able to get there. something. I control my breathing. My throat is dry and it's hard to breathe. Why? Even though the hallway is cool, sweat forms on my brow. I stop calming out and examine my surroundings with all my senses. Do I have such... I don't know why. Why am I walking silently? Why my heart beating so fast? An ominous feeling in this place. Same words repeat in my head. Go back, go back, go back, go back. Gotomine isn't here, so you don't have anything to do here. Go home since you're by yourself. Your decision is a mistake. Your actions are a mistake. Your chill is a mistake. Go back, go back. Go back. This isn't bad. There's nothing bad here. There's nothing here. So go home. I feel sick. I feel nauseous. At the same time, like this, my chill is correct. My sense for danger is good enough for an amateur magus. That's why I can't stop. Suppressing my pounding heart, I look for Kotomine's room. And in that way, I run into the darkness, underground. I see stairs in the darkness. There's a small indent between the walls one would normally miss because of the shadows and it is a narrow staircase. I shouldn't go down there. I bet my money on it. Kotomine won't be down there. No one will be down there. There can't be blank down there. There can't be coat down there. There can't be death down there. There can't be rip down there. I shouldn't go down there. My neck stiffens. Bad end. Go downstairs. I enter the darkness. Yeah, going home is the bad end. Because of course it is! Usually doing the stupid, in the Feyre anyway, doing the stupid thing is usually the right answer. It's a room made of stone. The lights aren't on, but the room itself is glowing blue as if it's a living thing. An underground temple. It might have been used quite often as a temple, isn't dirty with dust or mold. How deep is this? I look up at the stairs I've descended. The staircase is built along the wall in an arc. It must trace out a perfect half moon, as I can see the start of the stairs about 10 meters directly above me. It's because there's no light. The arcade staircase that connects to this underground, the outside world, reminds me of a centipede crawling through this temple. And I notice the door, under the stairs, the symbol in front of me. Beyond it, an entrance to darkness is open. I approach the darkness as if drawn to it, like what appears to be an entrance into this place. Is it damp? The floor feels slimy and hard to walk on. Like the time I cleaned out the swimming pool at the school. The feeling of bog moss covers the floor, and the feeling that my leg would rot every time I stepped in it. I stop, because I'm scared by the nasty feeling of the floor. But more than that, because of the smell and awful stench. I plug my nose in reflex. The smell isn't momentary, but ongoing. It's not the smell of meat. It's not gunpowder either. Is it formalin? The smell of a medicine fills this room. My senses were numbed as soon as I came underground. I don't feel any chills or pressure anymore, but still. My heart beats like expanding to twice its size. My hands vermiculating like they're going to crumble into pieces. And the worst thing is, my eyes have gotten used to the darkness. Darkness fades. A drop falls somewhere. Was that a signal? A signal I've been raved into my eyes instantly. It is a living hell that's somehow familiar. There are corpses. There are corpses. There are corpses. There are corpses. There are corpses all around me. The smell of medicine covers the smell of death. That's the cause of the dripping sound. The water is dripping into the corpses' mouths. The slightly open mouths take in the water, and it must have been like that for many years as the lips are swollen and rotten, and the jaws are decomposing on some. I tell myself this isn't happening. I don't want to think such a thing can happen, but I can't deceive myself. I can tell in a second. Even though there are this many corpses, no one is dead in here. They're all alive. They're alive. These things that can only be preserved as corpses These things that used to have human shape are still quite alive. I remember a news story I heard somewhere. It was a story about a whale. About a guy who survived for a month after being swallowed by a whale. The huge creature has a huge digestive system to maintain its huge body. The great thing is, the creature has two of them. The first stomach is where it keeps all the fish it swallows. The next one is the one that it digests all the creatures it stores. So the man who was swallowed lived for a month, being slowly melted in lightness, warm, stinking meat, lacking in oxygen. The stomach full of dead fish, he lived in for a month, as his clothes and hair melted. A month, not knowing when he would be sent to the stomach. And then, some fishermen killed the whale, and when they were cutting it apart, the smooth, slimy human came out of his stomach like an alien. Yeah. It's a tragic story, but this is just as bad. Oh. Why are they alive? Every corpse is deformed, they lack too many human characteristics. No limbs. Those that had them cut off. Those that have had the ends decomposed, leaving only the bone. Those who have ground down in the cracks in the floor. Those who have become home to bugs splattered on the walls. No matter how they came that way, they have no limbs remaining, and all of them are worn out like rotten trees. I don't even need to know why. The corpses are being eaten by the coffin. I don't know how it works. It's just that corpses are stuck to the coffin, and the coffin is sucking nutrition out of the corpses. The flow of life. Coffin is sucking up magical energy. No, something close to the soul. Slowly. So not to kill the ones it leeches off. And so as not to allow them to live. The sound of wind that sounds like sobbing. It seems like screams coming out of the corpses' mouths. Their throats have already decayed, and they cannot let out voices. It has already become just an organ to keep them alive. But still, the corpses are crying out. In an almost inaudible voice, they scream with all their might. It must be the pain and the fear. They continue screaming, unable to stand, losing their form and being eaten alive. I hear a sound. The coffin in front of me gasps, drooling. An eye off it turns its neck towards me, but still it stares directly at me. The swollen lips move a little. It speaks in a voice that's not even a voice. Where am I? And asks me a question. I'm right on the verge of screaming. No, I can't even scream now. Where am I? It doesn't say it hurts, nor does it ask for help. It just says it doesn't understand why it's here. Is that the reason? He was like that before he realized it. He lived normally, went to sleep naturally, and was gasping here when he woke up. His limbs are already gone, sucked by that coffin, rotting away from the ends, unable to move, and he can only believe this is just a bad dream. I might go insane. My heart might break. From this scene, this terrible spectacle. Why? Why do I recognize them? I've never seen them. Why do I recognize every one of the corpses? This is the first time I've seen them. They are people I shouldn't know. They are people unrelated to me, but why are they as if knowing me, staring at me? And I have another question. Is this some coincidence, or do the sacrifices have to meet this condition? Why are all the corpses here children of the same age? And then... Oh, welcome, Emiya Shiro. Suddenly, I'm tapped on the shoulder from behind as if greeted by a friend. My body freezes at the sudden event, and I can't even turn around. I don't even need to turn around to tell who the person behind me is. Kotomine Ire. The priest of this church, and the man who made this hell. And a devil I must not meet more than anything else in this place. What awful timing. It was foolish for me to prepare food for you, thinking that you would come soon. I was unable to welcome you last time, correct? I thought I was attending to your needs, but it seems we missed each other. I can't talk. The priest's hands are heavy on my shoulders. but I can't not approve of trespassing. If you do such things, you will end up seeing things you should not, such as the truth that might send a relationship back to a blank page. The priest's voice is more cheerful than I ever heard it. Kotomine Kire, standing behind me with his hand on my shoulder, is definitely smiling. That's why I'm frightened. What is it, Emiyashiro? You came to talk, so it does no good for you to stay silent. I'm disappointed. Is this spectacle really so outrageous? The priest says inhuman things in a cheerful voice. Does this mean this man feel anything when faced with this? I need to tell him this seems outrageous. Oh, that is cold of you. It's simple compassion to say that it is, not even if you think it isn't pleasant. After all, you guys are like brothers and sisters. I do not think they will be saved to act that way. Just now, what did this man say? What did you say? I said that you and these corpses are fellow mates. But whatever it means, you all survived that living hell. Even if you're not blood relations, I believe the connection is close to brothers and sisters. Remember. I see. That's why I thought I recognized them. This is the continuation of 10 years ago. And this place is the continuation of that hospital room. My head spins. Children who lost their homes and parents. They were supposed to be sent to an orphanage and stay here, there until found someone who would adopt them. But I was adopted by Emiya Kiritsugu before that, and I did not know what happened to them afterward. I avoid thinking about it. The orphanage was the church on the top of the hill, and I could have gone there any time I wanted to. But still, I hesitated. I felt like it wasn't fair to me get adopted, and then go see the children who didn't get adopted. So if I was to meet them, we'd be in town. We would meet accidentally, be able to talk normally, we would be over the fire incident. I was looking forward to such a meeting, thinking that surely we would meet, as it was such a small town. So why have I not met even one of them? Kotomine. That's right, Emiyashiro. If you hadn't been taken by Emiya Kiritsugu, you would have been one of them. You understand. You alone survived. Once again. Everyone around you dies, but you survive. What do you think? Do you not think it is unfair? My pulse returned. My frozen body defrosts in an instant. Oh no, I'm not criticizing. It's rather delightful. Emiyashiro's survival abilities are impressive. Honestly, I did not expect you to remain until the end. That is why I have allowed you to be reunited with your brothers and sisters in your final moments. You really are lucky. I was planning to close this place up after today, so you barely made it. 10 years now. I kept them alive to feed the servant, but it's coming to an end. I cannot hope to extract the same amount of soul as when I started, and no more need for food in any case. All that remains now is to kill you and your servant. Yep. With that word, I break all restraints. I move my body, which had been bound, putting my hand off my shoulders. I throw myself forward and turn to face the priest. Kotomine, you. I face him, placing it at different distances. In that moment, I feel a powerful shock from behind me. That's weird. I can't breathe. A sharp horn is growing out of my chest. The horn looks like the head of a spear. That's strange. How can the spear be growing out of... Oh, I have not yet told you. I shall formally introduce you. This is my servant. I turn to look back. There. A blue spearman is standing, piercing my chest. The lance is pulled out of my chest. Delicious. At the same time, dread pain runs through my head and starts to burn my brain. The floor is painted red. I am lying on the slimy floor. I push on my arms to get up. My body is too heavy. I can't move. Not because I'm bound, but because I lack things people need to move. I can't move. The pain in my chest exceeds the loss power to drive me unconscious. I can't pass out. I've taken fatal wounds several times before. They were all so bad that they even numbed my senses. But this is different. It's a fatal wound, but the pain is too real. My vision spins. As soon as I pass out, black from the pain, I'm awoken by the next pain. I can't feel my limbs. I can't even tell where I am. All I feel is pain, nausea, and the temptation that it would feel so good to just disappear. You did not kill him, right, Lancer? You did. There was no point in keeping him alive until now. I can only hear voices. I have my eyes open, but I can't see anything. I'll follow your orders, even if they're disgusting ones. Lancer's voice shows no emotion. But I can barely hear it now. Fine. Then we shall prepare now. The servant will know when Master's in danger. It should be about half an hour until Saber gets here. Kotomine. This kid won't make it that long. You should at least stop the blood loss if you want to keep him alive until then. No need. I do not care if he dies. My mind starts to pass out. Pain finally overcomes my brain and allows me to faint. I stop that by digging into my wound. Pain starts again. My fainting mind returns to the burning world again. I want to die. I want to die right now. This pain's going to continue. I know that, but if I faint here, I also know that I'll die. I can't even remember what I'm doing now. I feel like I'm floating in this white, burning pain. Saber. But I grip my teeth, holding onto my disappearing consciousness. I can't let it end here. I can't retire so easily. I still have a promise I haven't kept. But I believe she's more important than anyone. I can't just disappear here. Interlude 15:1. When she wakes up, Shiro cannot be found. She thought he might be preparing late lunch, so she makes her way to the living room, but she can find neither Shiro nor any lunch. Oh, that's sad. He has gone out alone again. I told him to tell me if he does so. Why does he not listen to me? She complains to herself and sits on by the porch. Honestly, I know he likes to walk alone, but that takes away from the whole meaning of our cooperation. She swings her legs, not knowing what to do. She soon loses interest in that and looks up as if pondering. The whole sky is shaded in grey. A canopy of clouds is drifting slowly, and an opening can be seen in the distant sky. It should be the clear sky tonight. Once the stars can be seen, tomorrow can be predicted. She still remembers how to read the stars, something she learned from her maps. She only used to ask the way was right, but she thinks about predicting a certain person's future, just for tonight. And if possible, a bright future. She wants to predict the dangers ahead and guide him in the proper direction. The only one she worries about is so reckless that she cannot sleep unless she does so. Well, the problem is the stars seen from this town. Come to think of it, she's never looked up at the sky until this day. All she cared about was winning the Holy Grail War, and not reading the stars for someone else. She knows it's not like her, but she still tries to read the stars, and she waits for nightfall to come. Honestly, this is a big change in her thinking. She continued to stare at the sky, thinking it's just like the young girl in love, yes, read about in stories. Oh, Saber, do you know where Shiro went? Rin. She gets up like a robot. What is it? It's not like I am surrendering to Shiro. She says so with a fresh face. Was I interrupting you? Rin smiles in an evil manner. She's living under the same roof, but even without that, Emiya Shiro and Saber's reactions are easy to understand. She's sharp when it comes to others, so she already knows about them. So of course she's aware of what happened last night. Well, I'll make fun of you later. Seriously, do you know where Shiro is? I was thinking about asking for his help since Ilia's fever seems to be rising. Ilia's, did she not recover? No, I didn't tell Shiro, but she's almost at her limit. We'll go back to normal until the ritual of the Holy Grail War ends. Her capacity is extraordinary, but it's filling up. There's still a bit of capacity left, so unimportant functions are still working. Once it's full, she'll have to discard her least important function, which is her ability to be human. Ilia's field will break down more and more as the Holy Grail War progresses. Rin speaks annoyingly, but Saber does not understand what you mean trying to say. Oh, it's fine. I said it in a way you wouldn't understand. Let's put Ilias aside for now. It's about Lancer. I found out who his master is. Lancer's master been identified? Yeah, well, I found out, or more like I knew it. Lancer's master was a foreigner dispatched by a magic association. I already knew that. And I finally found her secret base earlier, but you should avoid such injured activities. If you found out their base, you should have told me. I was going to, but it seemed strange from the outside. I went in thinking it was empty. All I found was traces of blood and the left arm with no command spell. There was nothing else. I think the arm was cut off, but based on how much blood there, I don't think the master's alive. Lancer's master is already dead. Then Lancer does not exist anymore. They were defeated by another servant after Shiro was attacked 10 days ago. I wish that's the case. The bloodstains were older than that. You know what that means. That servant was not killed, but the master was killed first. So a master took the arm, the command spell, and formed a contract with Lancer. But Shiro and I are the only remaining masters, right? But Lancer still remains. That means that Magus, who was not a master, but became one after stealing the command spells. How is that even possible, Saber? No, the transfer of command spells can only be done between masters and servants. No matter how superior the Magus, he cannot become a master by stealing the command spell. You can see. And one more question. Is a master still a master if they have their command spells in their servant? Even after the Holy Grail disappears? Just as you say, as long as the command spell, the servant remained, that Magus can retain the rights of the master even if the Holy Grail were. Saber realized the meaning of Rin's question as well as her words. Then you think the one who killed Lancer's master formed the contract with Lancer is... I can't think of anyone else. In that case, Lancer's actions make sense. He seemed like his role was to inspect other servants, right? Usually they expose their true identity when they fight, but he wasn't even trying to hide his. That must mean he was only there to collect information. He did not fight to the end even when he fought with me. Once he has used the double phantasm, it should be a rule for the servant to kill their enemy. Right, so Lancer's master has another servant. He collected information using Lancer and attacked with another unknown servant to first stretch. Well, I'm sure it was a pain for Lancer. He had to fight 6 servants, study their techniques, and return to his master. Fighting all 6 servants to withdraw. He's quite outrageous in a way. Rin goes quiet and ponders. Did she follow suit? Saber feels a chill for no reason. Lancer's master has already been killed. An unknown master who uses heroic spirit to a decided degree just to collect information. And as the master planned, the only servants remaining are Lancer and Saber. If the enemy is such a person, is it not dangerous to leave Shiro by himself, even during the daytime? There were several enemies before, but there are no other enemies now. If they only have to defeat Shiro, the enemy must follow their previous plan. Do you know where Shiro would be? When she's thinking of that, it will not stop. She cannot leave Shiro alone, even though Shiro might be in danger. Yeah. I don't know. I asked you because I didn't know. But he might be a Kira's. We went off to talk to him before, too. To the church? What's wrong, Sam? Do you have something against the church? No, it's not that. But that church is not a holy place. It's stagnated with death to the same level as the Ryudo Temple. The instant she regrets that Shiro might be there by himself, a vision of other place pops into her head. She glares up into the distance. She looks in one direction towards Kotomine's church on the top of the hill. There is no time. Saber leaps out of the yard and jumps onto the wall. Hey Saber, where are you going? I'm going to the church. Please take care of this place, Rin. Without even turning to Rin, she jumps off. She runs like a bullet. She reaches the place without stopping or slowing down. If anybody saw her, it would have just looked at a sudden gust of wind. The wind is clad in silver and blue armor. Saber is armed as soon as she sees the enemy's territory. She did not intend to arm herself. She decided to arm herself when she entered the church, but she could not help it. As soon as she saw the church, her mind burning up and made her arm herself. Her chest is burning. The nausea that is assaulting her is not hers. It is the chill coming from her master, a hopeless scent of death. She does not know what is going on. The only thing I'm sure is that Emi Ashiro is on the verge of death. And there is no time. His wound could cause him to die any second. That pain and chill going through her body is causing sickening nausea. It is less than a thousandth of the pain Emi Ashiro is feeling. But she still cannot stop her nausea. Her master is wounded that badly. He will not live. She will not even make it even if she rests with Godspeed. He is dying right now and she might lose her master in front of her eyes. The instant she imagines that, her rationality vanishes. She just has to rush to her master as fast as possible. Godspeed isn't fast enough, she's just break through the reason of God. Unfortunately, this is God's house, and her enemy is God's messenger. Her angry glare stares down at the church. She crashes through the door and enters the chapel. She does not see the chairs. She ignores the path, goes through the temple, through the courtyard, and down the stairs leading underground. All that's left is demolished walls and the floor of the church. Incidentally, she is not that violent. She tried to open the door softly, and did not put that much magical energy into her legs that she kicked off the ground. She merely could not control them. She goes down the stairs, reaches the underground temple. Sense of death's near. Actually seeing it, her anger grows over the limit. Anger towards herself, and anger towards the enemy who did such a thing. Yo, sorry, but this is it, Sid. She cannot even hear the voice of Lancer blocking her way. She is straining at her limits, and it seems she cannot loosen up no matter what happens. Her master is down there in the darkness, in the back room. In the middle of the room of live corpses, he is on his stomach. Blood is pouring out of him. He is gasping. He can be heard even in his temple. He is alive. All the while she is relieved. She shakes from having left him for so long in that state. Shiro. Saber heads back to but there's a guard in front of it. Holding his lance behind him, the blue spearman looks at Saber with fearless eyes. I'm sorry, but this is it, Saber. She does not hear his voice, so she does not stop. You are ignoring me, huh? It is as one would expect from him to block it while he was talking. Lancer blocks Saber's surprise attack, but could not defeat its power as he retreats to the wall. It makes the hindrance go away. There's no time to fight Lancer now. He has to save her master, who is on the verge of death. Is that kid that important to you? I don't mind, but in that case, you really can't leave me alone. Saber stops at the entrance. What do you mean by that, Lancer? Well, I'm the one who stabbed him. And this is actually the second time I did it. He stayed alive the last time for some reason, so I pierced him for sure this time. You used Gay Bolg on Shiro. Don't worry, I didn't hit his heart, but the curse is still there. Even you should know that curse of this lance. This is the lance of cause and effect, the reverse of the cause and effect. The one cursed by this thing cannot change their fate, unless they have great luck. To put it simply, the wound made by Gay Bolg cannot be healed. The one pure cannot heal and bears the wounds until they die, as long as this lance exists. That changes as they are. Saber's eyes finally regain intelligence. You finally understand. You want to save the kid, right? Then you have to settle your match with me first. Lancer's beast-like killer intent comes at Saber. It is true that Lancer is serious, but... Are you insane, Lancer? A Lancer would fight a swordsman in this small room. I cannot believe such a foolish idea would come from you. I shall let you go if you leave now. Leave that lance and disappear. I do not want to slay you in such an undesirable battle. Isn't that a more foolish idea? What kind of Earth spirit would discard their partner? I didn't pierce him to make that kind of deal. I'm here to fight you, Saber. There was no dishonesty in his words. Lancer does not intend to let either of them leave here alive. For him, this is the first and last battle where he can go full strength. Lancer's wish is not for the Holy Grail. He wishes only for battles appropriate to heroic spirits. Just a simple wish that should have easily granted to a normal servant was never granted to him until now. Therefore, he has the intention of losing out on what might be his last chance. Even if it happens to be an unfavorable situation for him. Alright, and I'll just slash away that lance along with you. Saber readies her invisible sword and faces the Blue Knight. Well said. To be honest, I'm glad you're the one left, Saber. Lancer's lance runs like a flash of light. Saber confronts it straight on. The rematch begins with both of them executing powerful blows. Interlude out. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. All I can hear is my own breath now. I might not have a fever that could burn someone to ashes, as it feels like my brain is already melting and pouring out of my ears. Stop, stop, stop. Something's wrong. It feels like I don't have a brain anymore, but my body still keeps telling me about the pain and my head accepts it. Help, help, help. My head is not the only thing that's empty. I don't know where my heart or stomach are either. The nausea is unbearable. There's nothing left to throw up. The nausea increases without limit. I endure the infinite repetition with gritted teeth. I can stay conscious. It's my pain, so only I have to endure it. There's no problem with it. Give it back, give it back, give it back, give it back, give it back. So the problem is the voices. My head is empty. I can only hear my breathing, but these voices still echo in my head. How do you even think who these voices are? It hurts, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. I'm going mad. Every time I hear the voices, I'm stabbed in the chest. It's not scary. I just don't have any way to atone for it. Hey, hey, hey. No matter how much they beg for help, no matter how much I want to help them, I can't help them. I won't ask them to stop calling to me. It's just that no matter how much they call, I can't help them. That's why I think I'll go crazy if this continues. Returning, returning, returning. No matter how much they ask, I cannot consent. All I can do is end it for them. I can only fix the contradiction of the living dead. I can only make the creator of this hell atone for his sins. I can't take back any sad events or miserable deaths. That's my limit. A superhero only exists to straighten out what he has already happened. Who said that again? Since I deny those words, I'm being cornered right now. To be honest, I want to run away. I have no way to save them. I can only listen to them. I have no miracle to grant them. I don't have enough power to deny his claim that a superhero is only so strong. Then if I had a miracle that could save them, would I use it? She is here. Wake up, Miyashiro. The servant has arrived. I hear a voice. It is coming right behind me, but I can't hear what it's saying. My vision is blurry. There is nothing in front of me. All I sense are the voices asking for help and the figures that are already dead. He is doing well, but he cannot match Saber as expected. I need one more servant either way. I do not care whether that happens to be Saber or Lancer, but I shall make the selection before that. I can't hear anything, but this man's voice echoes in my head. It is time for your turn. Let us go. And he is shooting. My head is lifted. The man grabs my head and pulls me forward. That lets me feel the man behind me. The man has swallowed black corruption. His heart is black, and it seems like he's surrounded by unknown darkness. The black corruption reaches it from the outside world, and it's like a chain binding the man. I don't know what it means. Only one thing is clear. That man, Kotomine Kire, was just like me. His body had some kind of fatal wound, and he's compensating for it with that unknown something. As I using Saber power, Kotomine Kire is maintaining his corpse-like body with this black corruption. It is it, Saber. Lower your sword if you wish to save your master. What is going on? My vision is still blurry, I cannot even raise my hand. You too, Lancer. We are partners in the Holy Grail after all. We should not kill each other so recklessly. If Saber only came to pick this man up, I would gladly let her do so. Do you think I would believe such words coming from the one who killed Lancer's master and is about to kill my master as well? Who is he talking to? I can't hear the voice. The sound rings through my fainting mind like a bell. Trust me, I do not wish to fight. Things have turned out like this, but I will not interrupt you if you wish to seek the Holy Grail. From the beginning, my role was to determine the possessor of the Holy Grail. You two are more than qualified. Therefore, if you wish, I can give you the Holy Grail right here. Are you saying the Holy Grail is here? It is here. The Holy Grail exists everywhere. It is a shapeless vessel to begin with. Its completion depends on when, where, and what is summoned. This church is sufficient just to summon it. Of course, the Holy Grail is incomplete if there's more than one servant remaining. But it should still be able to grant most wishes. If that is not sufficient for you, then you may continue fighting. I do not want it, but I shall accompany you if you choose so. Is that fine with you, Lancer? It's not. We don't need to go that far. We could defy this match right now if we wanted to. In this situation, you are at a disadvantage in this room, and Sid would not be able to fight if she was concerned for her master. I do not think this is a satisfied battle for her. A spitting sound. It seems the man reluctantly agreed. Fine. But let me ask you one thing. What is the Holy Grail? Isn't it not meant to appear until only one of us is left? Is it the thing that summoned Trekkes from the beginning? No, it is true. The Holy Grail will not appear until there is only one servant left. But the vessel in which the Holy Grail will appear is a different story. That is prepared with a shape from the start, and the power flows into it until the Holy Grail is summoned. There's only two servants remain. It should have begun to acquire power as the Holy Grail. Is that not correct, Satan? You remain to the end of the previous world. You should understand what the Holy Grail prepared by the Einspurns is. Yes, the Holy Grail is always here, and must be filled with the blood of sacrifices. But do you not think that is sad? Do you not need to wait until only one remains? But it should be possible to grant your wishes right now. So, there's no meaning to kill each other right here. Yes, your opinion is certainly correct. But then, who are you? Is your objective not to obtain the Holy Grail? I told you I am the selector. If an appropriate person exists, I shall gladly give out the Holy Grail. For that, I wish to hear from you, Emi-Eshura. My body moves. My head is grabbed and my body is lifted. It hurts. My wounded chest opens up. The pain makes vision go pupil. No worry. I only wish to hear his answer. The Holy Grail only answers those who wish for it. It must be you whether you are master appropriate for the Holy Grail or not. That is useless. Shiro does not seek the Holy Grail. My master is not as lowly as you. Yes, he said so at the start, but that will not be his true opinion. As every man has his darkness, this man also has a dark side. For instance, this boy truly cursed nothing on the day 10 years ago. Is he shaking it off by forgetting what lay ahead? Hold on. What's he saying? The fire 10 years ago has nothing to do with this. This is meaningless. Nothing should come from it. I will open your wound. It's time for your confession, Emi-Eshura. My back aches. My mind reverses like electricity running through it. In the place of my fading mind, red vision appears. Stop. 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 Just stop. There's no meaning to this. No one will be saved if I remember this now. Everybody died. Everyone was dead. I was the only one wandering through the fire. The houses had burned down with burned up corpses under them, and the sounds of crying came from all around. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. I walked alone. I sought help, and I wanted someone to save me, so I kept walking, not looking to the side. Stop. All the while, how could I think that no one was asking for me to help them, when I could still move? Stop. Help, 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 help. Yeah, I noticed. There's no way I couldn't have noticed. I worked through it all. I ignored the voices sobbing in pain. I ignored the pain, the voices going mad trying to escape. I ignored the screams of those not wanting to die. I ignored the pleas of mothers wanting to take care of their children. I even ignored the dying eyes that could not ask for help. I kept walking, only seeking help for myself. Wait. I was tired of looking at corpses. I was already tired of seeing people die in pain. I thought I couldn't save them. I thought they would die no matter what I did. That's why I never stopped. Stop. Give it back, give it back, give it back, give it back. I thought I had to live even a second longer because I had to go that far. If there were people who died without being able to do anything, as long as I could do something, I thought I had to live. Stop. My heart was almost crushed. I held back my tears and walked on in search of an escape. It was hard to live on while ignoring the pleas for help. I knew it would be easier if I apologized, but I never apologized. I believed that it would be my only sincerity, as I could not do anything. Stop. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. And so, as I wished, I alone was saved. The only ones in the hospital were children unfortunate enough to be in the areas near where the fire occurred. I didn't want to know about it, but the man in white coat told me. In that area, I was the only survivor. Stop already. I saw people dying in pain. I saw just as many sad people, because there was a funeral for all those who died in the big building. Every kind of sadness and affection for those that died. I thought that. Just stop. Hey. I had to remember every single bit of it. It's only natural. And many people wanted to be helped, and not one of them had their wish granted. So, since my wish was granted, I thought that it was only natural for me to take on their deaths. No. I could not hold my head up unless I thought so. No more. Give it back, give it back, give it back, give it back, give it back. That's why I frantically chased after Kiritsugu. For those I couldn't save, and for those things I couldn't do, I admired a superhero who could save someone. What was me crumbled away as I ignored the pleas for help. I kept moving forward with an empty mind. No more. Please, 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 please. The people I didn't save taught me that I had to go on. What was lost within all that? I just thought, going forward in a place of all people that died. I couldn't think of anything else. I sealed any memories before so that I would never think about them. People kinder than anyone else. Memories of those who were my parents. It was not to recall them and go back. I sealed them tight, thinking I was already dead. Don't open it. It's not painful. Emi Ashiro was happy being adopted by Emi Kiritsugu. So, you have never thought it was a mistake. I am telling you, don't open that. Pain. The pain in my chest pulls me back to the end. My nausea doesn't stop. My limbs are numb. My head is burning. My breathing is rapid. Return it, return it, return it, return it. Their voices are echoing in my head. I threw up blood. Is it because my body is dying, or because I cannot endure those voices? My chest hurts. My chest hurts. My chest hurts. I can't plug it, even if I try. What hurts is the pain inside. It will keep hurting as long as the memory is there, and it will never heal. Is that an illusion? See a figure should not be here. So I have to bear this. I can't think about wanting to die. If she is here, even in illusion, I have to act like I'm alright. It is a deep wound. It will be painful if it's not good. So you should not end your life bearing them. I hear the priest's voice. The voice totally unlike it, filled with compassion. You said you do not need the Holy Grail. Is that true? If you can redo what happened 10 years ago, will you not seek the Holy Grail? You could save everything that was lost. You can eliminate that disaster, not associate yourself with Emi Kiritsugu, and be your true self. It's not the only way to save yourself. Redo the incident 10 years ago? Redo myself who survived by not saving anyone? No, more than that. I could make that incident as if it never happened, so that no one would be hurt. Shake my head. I reject that vision with my burning head. I spit at my own weakness, because it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. I hear their voices. My fingers feel the wet floor. They all want to go back to that day. I wanted that too, though it can't be has been as bad as you guys. Even after Kiritsugu adopted me, I went to the burning field often to look at the scenery. I went to that place where nothing remained, opened the door that didn't exist, walked through the hallway that didn't exist, and smiled at Mother, who wasn't there anymore. I wanted to return to days before it happened. I awaited the day when I would wake up from this bad dream. That didn't happen, and I accepted reality. But if I could obtain a world where that didn't happen, where nobody got hurt, that would certainly be. Now answer. If you wish for it, I shall give you the Holy Grail. The priest wished the Holy Grail says so. Return it, return it, return it, return it. Let me just quickly double check information. Okay, no, there is no choice. It's just going on. Okay. Wish voice will go away. Orphans like me. If fate had taken a slightly different turn, I would be there as well. So I don't even need to think about this. I don't need to think about it. So what? I don't need it. I can't wish for such a thing. I stare straight at the dead corpses. I reject them. That is my answer. It does not matter what the Holy Grail is. I can't wish to regenerate the dead, nor change the past. Right. You can't redo the past. The dead won't come back. What's done cannot be redone. I can't wish for such a thing. My cheeks are hot. Every time I say such a miracle is impossible, tears pour out from vexation. I wonder why miracles wishing for such normal happiness are too much for people. The Holy Grail makes that possible. Everything will be you as you wish. The priest says so, but I can't agree. Even if I could redo my past, I must not take back what has already happened. Because if I do that, everything would be a lie. Those tears, those pains, those memories. That cold reality that hurts my heart, all of it. There were people who died in pain. There were people who risked their lives to save others. There were people who mourned for their deaths. But then, everything were taken back, and it did not happen. Where would all those go? The dead people would not come back. Reality cannot be overturned. To continue on remembering the pain and the weight. Isn't that how you lost things remain? People will eventually die, and death itself is sad. But pain shouldn't be the only thing that remains. The death is painful, but it also leaves behind bright memories. As I am bound by these people's deaths, as I am protected by the members of Kiritsugu, I believed memories become constraints that change the people living now, even if there are memories that will eventually be forgotten. This path, I don't believe it's the wrong one. I see then you. I don't need the Holy Grail. I can't stray from my path for the people I've left behind. I declare so within my pain. I control the pain of my fading consciousness and manage to stay up on my knees. Then I finally realize I can't hear the voices. The voices aren't echoing anymore. I don't know how they took my answer, but it is sad that they closed their eyes without a single grudge. That is the answer her master arrived at. The anger she bore until a moment ago has disappeared. She is at a loss for words, staring at her master. His path, I don't believe it's the wrong one. With his bloody body, with a ragged breath, controlling his tears, I can't stray from my path for the people I've left behind. This line, by the way, which I really do like, it's meant to basically be echoing what Saber said when she pulled the sword from the stone. He has apologized to everything he has stepped on, but he still declares that he will not change his path. Her vision wavers. She cannot breathe right either. She knew of his past. As Emiya Shiro has seen Saber's path, she has also seen his. That is why she thought he would nod. No, she thought he had to nod. She wanted to say that it wasn't not his fault. If he could hear, she wanted to say that it something Emiya Shiro should not be burned with. But still he denied it. No matter how painful the past, one cannot redo it. She almost collapses. Those words are too heavy for her. Making an oath and devoting everything you have to its accomplishment. She had felt their ways were simple. Well, that was just conceit. Only she thought they were similar. They could not be similar. His mind is strong. She, only able to deny his words, was wrong. So you chose your wishes over your savior. The priest lets go of the boy. He looks down at him in annoyance and walks past him as if he's lost interest in him. And how about you, Saber? That kid says he does not need the Holy Grail. But Musa has a different opinion. Your role is to use Grail to save the world. Do not tell me a heroic spirit like you being so egotistical as that kid. Her heart is shaken by his question. The priest says he will give the Holy Grail. He will give her the Holy Grail if she has a goal and wish she wants granted. That is, there's no reason to refuse. She fought for that alone. She became a servant for that reason alone. So, what Shiro said does not matter to her. To obtain the Holy Grail, Saber, and I shall propose an exchange. Saber, kill your master with your own hands to achieve your goal. I shall give you the Holy Grail if you accomplish that. She would do anything. This unexpected proposal. She cannot understand it. It's not that she cannot understand his words. Such a choice has never existed for her. What? You should not hesitate. You can kill this kid before he realizes it. First of all, he cannot be saved. You did not be compassionate to kill him right now. The priest steps aside. Before her is the door leading to the underground cemetery and a collapsed figure. She walks as if drawn to it. She walks past the priest and enters the damp room. This room is hell. He writhed in pain. He has shown his dark side, yet he declined the priest's offer. He places her hands on her sword. At her feet is her master, breathing painfully. The end of a long journey, the Holy Grail she desired at the cost of her life. It will be granted just by swinging her sword down. After all, the master and the servant cooperate only until they obtain the Holy Grail. Even if it ends here. What is it? Why do you hesitate? It is for the Holy Grail. I believe it is quite a bargain. The priest's words are true. It is strange to hesitate now. But still, this path, I don't believe it's the wrong one. Those words will not leave her. Mrs. Vexi, she isn't like Shiro. She wants to redo everything. On that day, it would have been someone better suited to become king. Someone else to pull the sword. And that person must have been able to build a more peaceful country. That is her heart that holds her country dear. That is the doubt the girl Artoria before she became a king. That mind. The mind she left behind on the day she drew the sword. Why did she not realize it before? I can't trim the path I've left behind. That is her heart that holds her country dear. It is the mind of a girl before she became king. But it is not the heart of the king. The only one the king believed in was herself. To deny that would deny everything she has taken away. The things lost will never return. Her master continued to appeal in his pain. His figure hurts her so much. What did she tell him? That she could not start a new life? She continued to refuse him, saying that she has a duty as the king. What duty is that? To resurrect a destroyed country? And choose a more appropriate king? Or does she only wish to make the destruction never ever happen? That is wrong. Yes, that is wrong. She was raised and lived as a king. There was no mistake. So, if the result was ruin, why couldn't she not accept it? There are no regrets. If one can be proud of one's life, one should not wish for another chance. I see now, Shiro. Shiro's lamentations pierce her heart. He said that tears would not go away, that the pain would go away, that the heaviness in her heart go away as well. That is salvation by elimination. But everything were made to never have happened. What would happen to all the things taken away? It has taken away many things and killed many. To bear the pain, regret this requiem? So if she wishes for another chance, it should be from this moment on, and not from the past. There is something she could not do. she should not go back to the past accomplishment, but rather she must establish the wishes that never came true from this moment on. But she is no longer a king, she has lost her country. So her wish should be for herself, as she says. No, there's nothing that should be wished for. It was Arthur's decision to become king. It was never painful for her. Even no one understood or accepted her. She believed that what she desired was something she could be proud of. At least, the girl pulled the sword without believing so. That is the answer. Just like him, that is the only answer she can be proud of. Yes, she remembers the oath she made a long time ago. Something she kept to herself. She decided to fight, even if it meant losing everything and fighting everything. I was the foolish one. The oath of the king. Fight, even in that condition. The king protected the country, but the country did not protect the king. That is all. The result was cruel. But if there was nothing to be ashamed of in the process, there was no need to seek it. She swore to accomplish her duties as king. Even if the result was her destruction, she fulfilled that oath until the very end. So, she does not need anything else. Yes, she did not want everything. From the beginning, there was only one thing she wanted. She lost so many things to obtain it. There was something she protected until the very end. With that in mind, let her end a dream that she was never granted. I want the Holy Grail, but I cannot kill Shiro. Pointing your sword at her enemy, you said so from the bottom of your heart. You don't understand, fool. I said I favor Shiro more than that thing. That's why her role was already determined. To be his sword and shield. And so, she cannot hesitate any longer. Are you saying you do not want the Holy Grail? I do not wish for it if it will dirty me. I already have everything I wanted. Everything was there. Her pride as a knight, her oath of the king, even the dream that the girl Artoria wished for. I certainly heard those words. A confession of the girl who wished for the Holy Grail. She confessed that she no longer needs such a thing. Seba. Controlling my ragged breath, I call her name. Even though I can't see her, I can tell she's nearby. The pain is subsiding. I don't know if it's because she's near me, but the wound is starting to heal up. Can you stand here? Please take my hand if you can. I can't. I take your hand. My vision recovers. Energy starts flowing into my weak body. Sabers, this is... yes. Even the curse of Gable will not be effective against you now. It shall heal completely if you stay by my side. Rather... Saber turned to look toward the underground temple. Beyond the door, there's his rooms, last master Kotomina Kirei and Lancer. I see. He observes us, as seeing us for the first time. You two are boring. He spits this out in a motionless voice. Seems I will have to keep the Holy Grail after all. But that would be rather violent. The Holy Grail needs to be complete before granting my wish. I am sorry, but you must die here, and yet shoot. Try to stand ready, the body won't move. You can barely stand by taking Saber's hand. I can't fight like this, and more than anything, I'll be burned in the city. Bring me easily, Shiro. Please stay here. I shall be able to take on both. Oh, you have a lot of confidence. Do you think it wise to run now? Lancer? Lancer doesn't respond. First of all, Kotomine doesn't sound like he's in danger. He's just saying he's scared of us. Kotomine, I shall ask before I defeat you. What are your intentions? What do you wish as the supervisor of the Holy Grail? Well, to put it simply, I wish for entertainment. That's not something I needed in a hurry. To be frank, I do not have much interest in the Holy Grail, but that matches my tastes. If there was no appropriate owners, I shall take it for the sake of the world. Ridiculous. What are you trying to claim? After killing a master and becoming master yourself? You must have intended to obtain the Holy Grail from the beginning. Nonsense. I came by it by chance. I killed Lancer's master because outside Magi are troublesome. I do not want outsiders to discover the true nature of the Holy Grail, so I had the Master leave at an early stage. It would not have been smart to eliminate the servants. I needed a piece to hasten the fighting, so I just borrowed Lancer's Master's rights as a master. Then Kotomine became a master by killing Lancer's master. I see. I shall not ask any more about your son, but I will have you fulfill your duty as Superplan. Where is the vessel? The vessel of the soul of this war. Do you mean you were hiding it without realizing it? Gasped in surprise, but only for an instant. And looking at us with pleasure, he snapped his fingers to bring in the last character. 2 tense up. Hard footsteps ascend from above. Well, probably isn't necessary, but let me introduce him anyway. This is the servant Archer. He is the heroic spirit that was my partner in the last Holy Grail War. The Golden Knight appears. It is Gilgamesh, the King of Heroes. The atmosphere changes immediately. Gilgamesh, appearing suddenly, crosses the temple and stands by Kotomine. So, what are you going to do now, Kotomine? Are we settling this match with these nuisances here? I don't think this is good directing on your part. Do not say that. I was not expecting this either. I shall listen to your complaints later, so forgive me. Oh, if you understand, it's fine. But can you not do something about that Fulga man? I might kill him if he glares too much at me. What the hell is this, Kotomine? That man is your servant? Oh, I did not explain to you yet. He is my servant from the last war. We shared the same feelings after the war ended. Since he obeyed me, and I prepared sufficient food for him to stay here, we ended up cooperating. So that's the reason for the disgusting room. Fine. But why didn't you tell me about it? Do you think there was a need to? Or did you want to cooperate with him on your mission? No way. I'd rather die than cooperate with that guy. Now there are 3. Lancer by the stairs and Gilgamesh standing in the temple. There's no way we can win. We can't even match Gilgamesh, and we can't even run away if Lancer's there as well. Kotomine, you said you didn't know about him. Do not doubt me. I am a priest. I cannot lie. That's not true. You said you can ignore a servant from the last war. Yes. I was surprised as well. I ordered Arch to stay here, but he disobeyed and went to attack. It's only natural for you to discover me, not to escape Archer. Therefore I had to come up with some sort of plan. See? I did not lie to you at all. I'm pissed. That guy tricked me. I came straight to the enemy base. So you are Archer's master? Correct. This is much like a repeat of 10 years ago. Well, I was unable to witness the final moment since Kiritsugu had already defeated me. This will be the second and last time I shall see you. Answer me. Why does Archer still remain? What caused that fire? Why are you still alive after beating Kiritsugu? Saber is angry as there's hatred in her voice. A question long answered. As if asking about the crime of the disaster 10 years ago. I don't even need to tell you. 10 years ago, the Holy Grail was incomplete but full. It was possible to obtain. I really touched it. You and Kiritsugu were powerful, so I wished for the diversion to separate you two. But I was surprised by the diversion that occurred. Hold on. Could it be the... Then you caused the fire with the power of the Holy Grail. Who knows? I think the Holy Grail would have done the same thing even though I wasn't there. It's a thing of that nature. People call it unbroken vessel, but only blood and darkness and curses from it. You saw it as well, the darkness that spilled out it when you destroyed the Holy Grail. It only spilled onto Archer. Archer would not have lost his way if you had not destroyed the Holy Grail. Nonsense, the Holy Grail is a magical vessel that grants wishes of possessor. That fire must have been your wish. Only the result. The process was not what I had in mind. I only wish for the people to be gone from that place. In any case, you lack imagination. Your wishes will be granted. That is fine, but how will your wish be granted? Did you think that the world would change the instant you wish? I do not know about the original Holy Grail. But this Holy Grail is merely a vortex of power. It cannot make a precise calculations or correct any inconsistencies. It is only pure power. It is like a great weapon. If the possessor wishes for great riches, it will kill everything around it to bring happiness to the possessor. You understand? That magical vessel is a defective item that can only grant wishes of its possessor, though a method called destruction. What? That is not what was promised. Is the Holy Grail not something that will grant his wish to the possessor? It is. The measure of the Holy Grail is very reasonable. Letting one person survive means killing another. This world is one of equal exchanges. Wishing for some special event means cheating on something to make it possible. Wishes will not come true if you worry about harmony. It is merely a fluctuation dependent on the plundering of the weak. It is the most efficient fluctuation. I can understand Saber's surprise. Difficult to me is telling you the truth. This Holy Grail is far from the Holy Grail she wished for. Power that only grants the wishes of its possessor. The usurper that grants the wish of its possessor at the cost of everything else. This is the true identity of the omnipotent power given by the Master and Serpent. And the Holy Grail is a poisoned vessel that eliminates everything but its possessor. You will not know when you see it is a true curse. And that delights me. Touching the Holy Grail is a dream for a man of the Church. But this Holy Grail exists to kill everything, and being able to control it is like a dream. Saying that, the priest laughs. It's not a polite laugh like before. A laugh from the bottom of his heart. A holy laugh without any evil. That laugh forces me to realize this man is not human. I cannot let him have the Holy Grail over anyone. Then this is goodbye. Take care of this trash, Lancer. Take the boy. Archer, take the saber. The priest turns his back and goes up the stairs. The only one left are me and the two servants. And Saber, standing as if to guard me, glaring at her enemies. Time passes. You have to defeat Lancer and Gilgamesh to escape outside. It's possible to beat them. You have to do something and regroup, but Shiro. Your mutters while looking at the other. I know I'm asking for something impossible. Please stay beside me. She grasps my hand firmly. She tells me she's ready. Alright. I'll do my best to follow you, so don't worry about me. I nod to her. I can barely walk right now. Saber and I both know that. With that in mind, Saber has told me that she will break through this. So what I can do but nod. Yes, I trust you. She replies in a small voice. Now! Letting go of my hand, Saber runs to the temple. Two figures react to her movement. What? Only Saber and I are surprised. What happened? Lancer's lance should have attacked me, goes for Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh's long sword repels long lance as expected. Sorry, I missed. I see your lance must be pretty light. The two separate without any sign of hostility. Your target is that Momju. You do remember that I'm in charge of Saber, right? Oh, that, sorry. But I changed my mind. He didn't order me with the command spell, so I'm not going to obey him. Saying so, Lancer faces Gilgamesh as if protecting us. What, Lancer, are you... If it's something stupid, don't say it. I'm not helping you or anything. I'm just following my beliefs. Lancer points his lance to Gilgamesh. He really intends to let us go. Well, I've said my limit too. I'm not nice enough to listen to his orders when he looks down on me this much. I'm cutting my ties and putting it right now. You are breaking your contract with him, so you do not mind being eliminated now, even though the Holy Grail is right in front of you. Don't treat me like you. I've never had any interest in a second life. No hero is interested in such a thing. We're not attached to this world. We're just attached to the oath that we couldn't fulfill. Well, I guess a greedy apparition like you wouldn't understand. I see, a man with a brilliant death has something different to say. So this betrayal is a result of your heroic pride as well, huh? Jeez, following your beliefs sure is hard, Lancer. The air behind him distorts. Weapons appear in empty space. Lancer, He has all the original professors. Is the king of heroes with long history. Even you cannot take him on head to head. Damn, I see. No wonder you're so conceited. He's the guy who destroyed his own country by just doing whatever he wanted. So of course he's twisted. There's no time to be bluffing. Just get lost. Who are you to give me advice? Don't think I'm on your side just because I'm protected. This is why I hate Plum. I don't like romantic commands. Lancer urges Saber to run. Saber hung her head first. Good luck. I shall return this favor. Taking my hand, she runs to the stairs. Damn, I let them go. Gugumesh just watches us, not trying to follow us. Oh, so Saber wasn't your target. Well, to be honest, such a match did not suit my taste. If you had done this, I would have done the same thing. We go up the stairs. She is worried about me, so we aren't going up that fast. Ignoring our slow pace, the confrontation underground escalates without limit. The murderous intent continues to grow. What do you mean by that? You do not intend to let Saber go as well? Of course! I had no intention to kill Saber. That thing is mine. But I cannot stay idle if I want the Holy Grail. I need just one more servant to die for the ritual to be completed. 1,000 swords appear. The Golden Knight grins. That's why he was able to block Lancer's surprise attack. Lancer wasn't the only one trying to launch a surprise attack on his ally. Yeah. So this was your plan all along. I told you. I would have done the same thing if you had not done so. You deserve praise, QQ Lane. The situation is ideal for me. The distance between the two decreases. Before they seem to clash, we leave that place. To be fair, Lancer has a relatively okay chance. Not the best chance by any means, but a solid enough chance because he has protection against arrows. So actually several of the Gilgamesh's noble phantasms would actually not hurt him. So, fun facts. I stop. My body tells me I'm at my limit. Let us rest here, Shiro. You cannot continue in your condition. I'm just causing you trouble like this. Move away from Saber and sit down on the grass. My chest is still there. It's not bleeding, but the hole is still there. I feel sick. Even though the pain is gone, I have a hole in my body. Just looking at it makes me sick, and I wonder why I'm alive like this. Shiro, let me look at your wound. Saber grudgingly looks at my chest. It's a bit embarrassing. No, it's alright. Excuse me, this will hurt a bit, but please bear it. Saber's finger runs across my chest. Then, I don't know why, but she places her hand over my wound and digs into it. My body jumps. Saber hand mercilessly digs into me and what? She's digging into me with her bare hands. It should hurt. Sure, but there's no pain. Rather, the pain seems to disappear around the places Saber's touch. I'm done, Shiro. I've restored magical energy to the sheet, so your wound should heal in half a day. Take your hand off my chest. Saber looks relieved. I don't understand at all. Saber, what do you mean by the sheath? I think you mentioned it before, but could it be your sheath? Saber's sheath, the sheath of the sword Excalibur. The sheath of her sword is not invisible air. In the legend, the sheath of Excalibur was a noble phantasm that made his possessor immortal. But she shouldn't have it. King Arthur died in the Battle of Camlan because her sheath was lost. Saber shouldn't have the sheath right now. Yes, my sheath inside your body. It was my fault for not realizing that fact until last night. My body. It's ridiculous, there's no way. Is that so? It was simple from the beginning. You summoned me, Shiro. It was foolish of me to think it was by chance I was summoned. To summon a heroic spirit, one needs a symbol connected to that spirit. Since you are inexperienced in mages, uneducated as master, you need a connection that would be overcome all those deficiencies. That was my sheath. The lost sheath of Excalibur. That may be true. Well, why would it be in my body? Kidetsugu probably put it in there. Ymir Kidetsugu used the sheath of Excalibur as the catalyst to summon me in the last war. The sheath is a noble phantasm that heals the possessor's wounds. He must have thought it would be more useful for him to keep it. I have healing powers, and I do not die easily. If the master who dies easily has the sheath, they have a better chance of surviving the Holy Grail War. Then father survived the war because he was like me. Probably. And after that battle, and after I disappeared, Kiritsugu wandered to the burning field, found a dying child. He had no healing powers, and if he did, he assumed it was too late. So I believe there was only one way for him to save that child. Uncautiously placed my hand on my chest. On the day 10 years ago, I accepted death looking up at the sky. My whole body was burned, and maybe it really was burned to ashes. When Kiritsugu found a kid barely alive, he had to rely on what he had on hand, the sheath of the holy sword that protects life of its possessor. He must have saved that dying life by implanting the sheath. Then it really is. Yes, it has been disassembled, lacks its original form, but your body certainly contains the sheath. It's the cause of your healing powers. I almost died once, speared by Lancer. Schooling. That's right. Someone saved me at that time. When I came to, it was there, and all I found was a rock. I took the rock home because I thought it was something important, but it's still at my house right now. That was before we made a contract yet. The sheath is my noble phantasm. It does not exhibit its power as a noble phantasm until magical energy is channeled into it. You cannot obtain your immortality unless you make a contract with me. Well, I'm sure it will protect the possessor's life if any magical energy is in it, but it will be weak. I am sure fusing with the sheath is the only way to save a dying person. I'm sorry, Saber. Your sheath was used for something like this. Please do not say such a thing. You are my master, so it's only natural for you to use what is mine. And I was happy when I learned about it. Even though I cannot save anybody, I had saved your life. Her smile is so brilliant I have to look away. Sure. Does your wound... No, that's not it. I just don't worry about it. There's nothing wrong with you. I had a blushing face, shut my mouth. There's no pain if I don't speak, but this is really awkward. I wonder how long we've been like this. Just as I start to calm down, Saber quietly says, Kiritsugu was correct. He did not betray me. She says so as if regretting her past. Saber. That Holy Grail was not what I thought. No, I did not need the Holy Grail to begin with. Kiritsugu must have known that. Her murmur sounds more like a confession. Saber apologizes to a person she cannot apologize to anymore. She looks at me, to part with the wish she had held for so long. She doesn't say anything. My heart understands just by being beside her. Artorias sought the Holy Grail. A lonely knight who needed to believe that ruin was avoidable with the Holy Grail. If a girl who wished for that, what would happen if you could redo this wish? Saber, that's... I knew. I knew I could not redo things. I knew it, but I still continued to deceive myself. But this is the end. Her long battle will finally end. Thank you, Shiro. I finally understand the path I need to take. Yes, the Holy Grail and I are just dreams that must not exist. She murmurs that she would still like me forgiven. It was a mistaken wish, dazed not to be wished for, but the weakness that was just passing through a girl saw. What should I feel listening to her? Saber's answer is beautiful. It is made with dignity and purity, just like her. She is proud of her past and accepted the end that awaits her. And now, Saber's decided to follow her oath until the very end. She does not need to tell me what that means. She will not hesitate any longer. If I find that beautiful, a dark night, from the moment I was captivated by her figure in the moonlight, I have loved her. So, regardless of what awaits ahead, there is only one thing to be done. Saber. Let us destroy the Holy Grail. I say so, throwing aside my attachment and selfishness. Yes, I believe you would come to that conclusion, Master. Saber nods in response. I can't smile back at her. It takes all I have to surpass my heart, telling me I don't want this. But still, there will surely come a day when I can be proud of being trusted like this. I get up. Now I've decided there's no time to rest. It's clear what must be done, and the enemy is clear as well. There's no time to stop. Today, we will end this long battle before tomorrow comes. With Saber helping me walk, I make it back home. The wound in my chest hasn't healed yet. According to Saber, I should stay still for at least a few more hours. I bite my lip. I hate my body, unable to move when it's clear what needs to be done. Shiro, were you considering something rash just now? No, I wasn't thinking about anything. I will get angry if you push yourself too hard. We will go into battle as soon as your wounds heal. This will be our last battle. Let us face it in your best niche. We have to prepare and not be impatient. Where Kotomine went? How we beat Gilgamesh? There are many things to think about. I had to rest for now and prepare myself later tonight. After that instant, my mind stops. There's no sign of anyone. The air is different. There's the smell of burning. I can smell a strong scent of blood. I run. Ignore my wound. I run like the bad feeling I have. I run through the hall, turn the corner, enter a familiar room. There, the scene before me is anything but familiar. Tosaka. My voice shakes. I don't know what happened. All I know is that Tosaka is looking at me, breathing weakly. Oh, you're home at last. Jeez. Just about to go to sleep, you idiot. I don't know what she intends, but she's talking to me normally, even though she has a wound. Should make it talking to you. You don't talk to me, idiot. Damn, I have to stop the bleeding. Saber, bring me the towels. Hot water. Saber nods silently and runs to the bathroom. Bandages. Bandages. No, they won't do. A doctor. Call out first aid kit. Still on that. No. I treated my own wounds, so I don't do the doctor. There's something more important. Tosaka breathing hard. Tosaka. I don't know what she's on about, but I nod, thinking I have to listen to her for now. Are you really okay? It's fine. I could treat my own wounds. But I'm sorry. You went off trusting me, but I couldn't protect Ilya. It finally calms me down. Tosaka is injured. The living room is destroyed, and Ilya should be here, but isn't. Kotomine did this. She nods. I don't even need to ask, since he's the only one left. But only Saber and I knew that Kotomine was our enemy. This must have been a complete surprise attack for Tosaka. Because the 7th Master happened to be her teacher and guardian. Don't apologize. And would have able to do anything if you were suddenly attacked. In spite of what you said, you trusted Kotomine. I guess I was conceited thinking I could do everything myself. Coughs of blood. Crap, I can't let her. Let's talk later. Don't move for now. We'll treat your wounds and let you rest. Please. But I have to tell you something first. Look, Shiro. This is my last piece of advice, so listen carefully. I don't want to hear her words like that. But nods silently. Looks at me seriously with the wound of hers. I don't know. Anyone will be able to stop her. First, Kotomine's objective was Ilya. Must have known from the beginning that she was the vessel for the Holy Grail. Ilya is the Holy Grail. The more accurate, her heart is. The Magi are people with magic circuits, but Ilya is a human made from a magic circuit. I think she will be a vessel to summon the Holy Grail as soon as there's only one circuit left. Then Kotomine took Ilya. He took her, but as long as Saber is still alive, the path won't open. Kotomine won't try to do anything to her. I can only hope so. Lancer isn't an easy servant to beat either. He can't match Gilgamesh, but he might be able to at least run away. I can only hope so, but I can't tell Tosaka about that night now. Alright, I'll go save Ilya. You can depend on me. Let's see. And the second thing, I think Kotomine is a Ryudo temple. That's the best place to summon the Holy Grail. Be out of the church already, so he has to be hiding at the temple. So Kotomine is a Ryudo temple, right? It'd be hard for her neck now. Just give me a slight note. And this is the last thing. You won't be able to beat Kide. Are you still going to fight him? The question. This question is not asked as a friend of Kulto Sakavate, but as a Magus who understands the situation. To be fair, I think actually, basically these give you the same answer, I think. Yeah, these give you the same answer. They don't lead anywhere different. We're going to do even those Tosaka just for thought I heard Discord notifications, but I shouldn't have heard Discord notifications because I'm stream mode and I also have Discord closed and I'm not in a voice call. That was creepy. Even so, my answer is already decided. I have no choice of winning, but the situation is the worst possible. Still, I'm going to fight. I hope for a lot. I can't back off no matter what. Gotomini Kirei is an enemy of Emiya Shiro, has to defeat. I have to settle things with him. As the one who survived 10 years ago, as the one of the orphans, and as the son of Emiya Kiritsugu. See, then I'll give you this. It's just for self-defense, but it should be better than nothing. Saying though, Totsuka reaches behind her, takes out a dagger. This is too famous of a dagger. It's a dagger for rituals more than for battles. A magic wand shaped like a sword, used to form magic circles, and effect of physical and divine mysteries. The word Azos is written, the jewel on the handle. The blade must have been Totsuka's preference, as it's shorter than usual. This weapon, favored by most famous occult scholar, who is pretty much the dominant in the world, is called the Azos sword. Though it's usually now Azos dagger. But Azos Tanto sounds stupid. So it's probably like it's not Ken, but it's one of the other words for swords or blade. So that would probably make sense by translated sword here. Just a quick note. It's like the proof of adulthood for mages. It's like a gift you get getting into school. Totsuka, this is... You should be able to tell. It's my deck. Be compared to my jewels. But I put magical energy in it from time to time. You can activate it by yelling lashed, and putting as much magical energy into it as you can. The dagger she gives me is heavy. Not physically, but the weight of memories. Totsuka has it. Totsuka, is it really okay for me to take this? It's fine. I realized I couldn't beat Kira, so I hid this from you. I don't want it to go to waste, so go ahead and use it. Alright, I'll take it. Honestly, any additional weapons would be helpful. You're pretty smart. And is it okay now? I'm getting really sleepy. Last awkwardly, before I realized it, Saber was standing behind me, waiting to treat us. So go ahead. I'll wake you up in the morning, then I'll make sure you eat a huge breakfast. I think I'll do that. Oh, this isn't advice, it's an order. Shiro, if you're going to fight, you have to win. I won't forgive you if you're dead when I wake up. I was satisfied after saying that. Totsuka falls asleep right after that. She looks so healthy that I feel stupid for worrying about her. But well, that was her way for cheering me on. And she didn't share some of her courage with me. Leave it to me, Totsuka. I tell the sleeping Totsuka. The board is all set. Now I just have to pass the few hours until my wound heals without regrets. The date changes. We treated Totsuka, took her to her room, made dinner, and ate inside. A little longer. The wound is almost healed. There's only an hour to her left. In the remaining time... Bad end! Have a strategy meeting. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Choice 1 and 2 here lead to a bad end. We'll be doing Spend Time with Saber. Because I think that one has an actual... new CG. With Kiritsugu, I don't think there's a CG or anything. It's just basic. And then finally, there's... I don't know about other ones. Have a strategy. Yeah. There's only one thing we can do. We've always done so. So I should follow that until the very end. Not romantic or elegant, but we're like us if we meet and come up with a plan. Shiro, coming up with a plan is fine. But is this the right place for? No. I have to be here. Let's go then. It's not like I don't have any ideas. If you say so, I will obey. He reluctantly goes into the shed. Well, I have my reasons for bringing Saber into the shed. We don't have much Gilgamesh right now. He goes without saying, we need a plus alpha factor. So, look for open, strengthen Saber, or give Saber back her sheath. I believe all three of these options end with the same way. Well, actually, I don't know about look for a weapon, but I know it doesn't lead to a Tiger Dojo, so we're not going to worry about it. Strengthen Saber, I believe, will just be the same as give Saber back her sheath. However, this makes more sense. Let's return the sheath to its rightful owner. I don't know if I'll succeed until I try, but Saber put her hand on my body to check the sheath's existence. Then it should be possible to take it out. What? Are you serious? I'm serious. It's yours to begin with, right? So it's only natural to give it back to you. You might be able to beat him if you have it. My magical energy will certainly increase if I have the sheath back. I still can't guarantee that I will be able to beat Gilgamesh. And if you take out the sheath, what will you do? If you take the sheath out, I won't heal even if I get hurt. But that's normal. I've realized that too much about mine without even knowing. People die when they are killed. Hey! The light has been said. I can't be protected from such a normal thing now. Take the sheath, Saber. We need to do this to win. Biting her lip painfully, Saber doesn't answer. I don't know how long that lasted. Just as the clouds disappeared, the moonlight starts to shine in through the window. Alright, Master. I shall borrow your heart. Saber nods. Then I shall begin. Are you ready, Saber? Go right ahead. Saber agrees. Saber places her hand on my chest and plunges it deep into my body. My job is easy. Taking out the sheath is similar to the steps in the protection magic. The sheath of the holy sword is melted in my body. I just need to gather it in one place, form it like it was before. Of course, that's just the image. I say I'll return to its original form, but it's only magical energy that will be shaped like that. Saber's the one who gives it shape. Cluster magical energy will take shape in Saber, the possessor's hand. I'm just helping her, as if making something from nothing. I take the scattered pieces of the sheath and carefully reproduce it without any flaw. My body's burning. Projection is way beyond my level. The magic surely kills my body every time I use it. It destroys my nerves because it burns my skin, crushes my brain, and makes me a vegetable. But it's the only weapon I have, and this is the only way I help Saber. I imagine her figure saw her in dreams. Golden she suited the king who ran through many battles. I take what protected the king and led numerous victories and reproduce it vividly without any mistake. So then no matter what happens, I engrave it into my mind so that I will never forget it, no matter what kind of end awaits us. I hear Saber's voice. Something that was binding my body for a long time escapes my body. Amazing. This is excellent shoot. No one else will be able to reproduce it so perfectly. It must be perfect, as Saber seems surprisingly happy. My body is burning. I fall on my butt. Sure, you're sweaty a lot. I'll rig. Wait, right away. Saber runs into the house. Listen to her footsteps and let out a sigh. I felt it was perfect too. It was so perfectly done. I believe no future projection will be as perfect as that. But thanks for everything. A bid farewell to what was part of me until now. Golden sheath that protected her. I will not forget it. Even if it leaves my body, its figure has been engraved into my heart. The moon is distant, and the clouds have cleared, and the darkness has a dim blue glow. Daybreak is close. The long night is about to end. This is the final moment. Going through the night, Saber and I have finally reached our final destination. At almost 2 hours, we are beginning the final battle. Shiro, this is... Saber sounds tense. I feel the same way. As I nod, I can feel sweat dripping down my chin neck. The mountain feels like one big living thing. The wind coming down from the mountain gate is warm, and the shaking trees seem like breathing lungs. Chills and pressure assail me every time I take a step. No, the air really is thick and wet. Mana is dense here. This is just like when 10 years ago I expect. The summoning of the Holy Grail has begun, or it's already over. Either way, that must mean that Lancer has fallen to Gilgamesh. Or to make sure, Saber. I have reached the top. All that's left is to fight. You take care of Gilgamesh. Take care of his master, Kotomine. We won't assist each other. We just have to beat one of our opponents. Yes, I will concentrate on my own fight at this time. Kotomine is next. You must defeat. Leave it in me. You too, Saber. Don't let that guy beat you. Yes, I swear on my pride that he will not defeat me. Not as a servant, but as a heroic spirit. I cannot allow him to beat me. Saber says strongly without any hesitation or distress. There's nothing more to say. We will go to battle and determine the winner, the last remaining masters. Even if in the process, one of us dies, the other one only defeating the enemy. Even if I die, if Saber beats Gilgamesh, Kotomine won't obtain the Holy Grail. At the same time, even if Saber dies, if I defeat Kotomine, Gilgamesh won't be able to stay in this world. So, there's no need to help each other. Our battles have already gone their separate ways. We go up the stone stairs. The air gets denser the closer we get to the mountain gate. Sweat drips down my neck. Ominous premonitions prick at my skin. Our strongest opponents await at the end of these stairs. But I really don't care about that. We go up the stairs. The moment's gate is approaching. This is the end. No matter what wins this battle, Saber will disappear. The long and short days of battle will end, and Saber will vanish from this world. She is going to return to her proper time. I can't say I have no regrets. Losing Saber, losing the one I promised to protect, the one whose happiness I wish for. I don't know yet how hard it will be. We are still walking together. I can feel her presence. I'm ready to lose her. Even if I knew many days ago, even if I knew from this moment we met that there would be a parting at the end. Thinking back, there were so many memories. Nights when I walked together. The times we fought together. I selfishly tried hard in the beginning, thinking I couldn't let a girl fight. You trained me hard in the dojo. I slept in the shed because I was unable to sleep with a girl. Next room, we had lunch together. Saber liked the bath, was satisfied when the food was good, liked the clothes I could prepare for her, and talked to with Fujine. She pushed herself, took all the burdens onto her shoulders, and finally collapsed. We shared our hearts in the room. I've been crazy since then. I couldn't think anything but Saber, and my reasons for fighting changed. I realized that I loved Saber. How can I lose someone like this? Saber doesn't say anything. I can't say anything either. When these stairs end, we reach the top. There'll be nothing for us to talk about. Losing Saber and parting with her will happen in the future. But this moment is the only time allotted to us for travels. Okay, we go up to the stairs. If I don't want to say goodbye, I can just talk to her with meaningless things. Like going into town again after we go home. Or what she wants for breakfast tomorrow morning. Such meaningless things. I can't even talk about such things. If I talk, that'll be our final conversation. A clear end. Neither of us will offer a clear farewell. And so we reach the mountain gate. This is the final choice. If we go on, it will end. If we go back, I might be able to find a way to avoid losing her. Saber. I stop and turn back to Saber. Saber is the same as always. A tense stare with composed expression. When I see it, all kinds of temptation attack me. Like, let's run away. Like, if I don't want to lose her, I can go back. If she would accompany me if I wished. My determination wavers. That temptation rises in my throat. But I stop it. Let's go. This will be our last battle. I declare that as a master, just as I always have. Saber nods silently. Her eyes are stronger as always, so I won't have any regrets. As she believes in me, I too will believe that my choice is correct. We start for the mountain gate. We head back into battle with no return. I couldn't say anything. I couldn't tell her what I really wanted to tell her. But I want to believe that this silence was able to tell her my feelings. The long stairway we climbed together. This is our final memory of our time together. Red light fills the mountaintop. Blowing wind stronger. It seems the source of the light. Coming back from the grounds. Red phosphorescence scatters the wind. The grounds is too bright for nighttime. Stagnant air fills the presence of death. This is like the fire back then. But isn't it like that? Within all the red light, something is about to emerge. From the back of the building, black darkness oozing in the red. If this clearing is like a clear lake, that mud is like an oil spill. The mud that spreads, taints the ground, does not kill anything it swallows. It's like a visible curse. I'm not just too. I can sense the thing only reacts to the human mind and only swallows human bodies. You are finally here. I have been waiting for you, Saber. He is there, within all the rich colors, ignoring the blood red and the death-stained black. That servant clad in gold is waiting for us. No, Saber, in the middle of this place. And the time's about right. The Holy Grail has finally moved into action, and the void has just opened. This curse, the contents of the Holy Grail, the third element, which keeps us servants in this world. This is what you splashed me 10 years ago. Gilgamesh is only looking at Saber. He goes the same for Saber. She takes a step forward, pointing her sword at the knight in front of her. Gilgamesh, what do you intend? What do you wish for with that curse? The thing falsely presented as the Holy Grail. I have told you I have no wish. I do not care what you may use the Holy Grail. For now, my only concern is you. As if in answer to Saber, the Golden Knight raises his head. At the same time, the air behind him sways in a haze. The king's treasure, hundreds of noble phantasms are loaded like bullets. Yes, the time has finally come. I have been looking forward to this all this time, Saber. I would pin you down and make you swallow that. The way you really will stop yourself going crazy, disgracing yourself and begging at them. Well said. Then you should have no objections to yourself meeting that exact fate. Another step. Saber steps in range of any noble phantasms. This isn't a battle I can do anything about. The battle between Saber and Gilgamesh is something no human can interfere with. That's expected, you say. My strong spirit. Even though you cannot defeat me, it is indeed suitable to end this party, but I don't want any intrusions. You, mongrel, disappear right now if you want to see Kotomine. He is waiting for you at the altar. Kotomine is waiting. I glance at Saber. She nods while looking at Gilgamesh. Her figure tells me that she is wishing me her best. I turn around. The one I need to face isn't here. Behind me. As I run, I hear the battle start. Back of the building. Behind the main temple is a large lake. Untouched by humans, the lake is holy, as if a dragon lives in it. Clear blue water is pure. The lake isn't even murky. But that's all in the past. The lake now has none of its characteristics. A red light is in front of my eyes, in a sea of black tar, and the void created in the air, and the girl presented as a sacrifice. Kotomine. My calm mind instantly goes over the limit. I stop and glare at my enemy. Welcome, Miyashiro, the last surviving master. He smiles sarcastically and opens his arms to welcome me. This is the site of our battle. This is the altar of the summoning of this in this Holy Grail War. Let Ilia down. I'll beat you up after that. I glare at Kotomine. There's about 10 meters between us. The fight will begin if I move another step. I don't know what kind of Magus Kotomine is, but I assume he'll use some kind of projectile weapon like Tosaka. In comparison, I can only punch him. Even though I have the dagger Tosaka gave me, it's useless unless I get near him. Once the fight starts, I'll have to run straight at him, stab him in his chest. First, I have to do something about Ilya. You hear me? Do you let Ilya down? What's the fun about torturing a kid? I understand your feeling, but I cannot do that. The Holy Grail appeared, but the void is yet unstable. I wish it were true unless she bears this until she dies. Until she dies, then Ilya is still alive. I see. Your intention of letting her down? I'll just have to use force. I'll stop your wish, that black mud, right now. So this must appear to be an I wish to you, as expected from the son of Kiritsu. I did not expect 2 generations to make the same mistake. This mud is not of my making. This is the power leaking out from the Holy Grail. This colorless power that should have been omnipotent. The all-human power is able to stain it. This Holy Grail has been like this from the beginning. Once opened, it will flow out without end and cause a disaster. This is the true identity of the Holy Grail. This thing is filled with every evil, something that curses everything in this world. No one can control such a thing. What does he say? That's true, then he became a master not for a wish, but just to open this up. Wait a minute. What is your wish? I clench my teeth and glare at the Black Priest. The man smiles. Well, let's see. If anything, it's for entertainment. He makes a simple claim as if only natural. Do you not understand? Music, for example. Why do you people find music fun and an issue? How about a book? Why do you think such stories attract people? Why? I've never even thought about it. Yes. You not even think about it. Every entertainment exists to pleasure people. It's amusing because it's made by people. All creation comes from people. In short, the most entertaining things in the world are humans themselves. They are humans, are the best entertainment in the world. Compared to that, entertainment created by people is just secondary. Yes, music, stories, like, dislike, pity, belief, betrayal, morals, corruption, illusion, truth is all just trash to be discarded. Such things are mere second-rate trash entertainment. What I like to enjoy are people themselves. Pointless things are not my taste. For that, we need to discard excess things such as their lives. You heard in flashbacks, right? It's like that. People have value only in the moment of their deaths. Using their lifetime to gain momentum, they jump high to them. That flicker is my wish. That is the answer to your question. As you feed on peacefulness, I live on feeding on the planet's light. This priest offering his speech with the hands apart is abnormal. Feel a chill, but not for his speech, but at the priest himself, because he looks like a holy being. Well, he says he wants to enjoy it. So you... Yes, the fire 10 years ago wasn't too bad. It was a small scale, but it was filled with unusual excitement. These are the only things I wish for. Such hell contains an explosion of souls, which flicker a man can kill. You must experience that as well, Yeshua. See, people dying in the practice and touch your heart, did it not? Don't talk shit. That time, that hell can't be contained with just one sentence. You understand now? It is in a distorted fashion, but no one loves humans as much as I. Therefore, no one is more appropriate than myself to receive the Holy Grail. Priest laughs in satisfaction, as if he thinks that event where people died in vain is a wonderful bottom of his heart. I see. I concentrate on my feet. I put my powers into my legs, about to jump forward. So I can kill you. I jump forward with all my might. But 10 meters to him, I'll go straight to him. I jump sideways. This is a result of my instinct not wanting to die, surpassing my desire to kill him. I roll sideways onto the ground and look up. Looking at the place I'm running over, the sound of burning. The burning sound is coming from the black mud, stretching it from the ground. It's like a black carpet. The mud slashed like a whip, attacking me so went to Kurumine and left a mark on the ground.
言い忘れていたが
I forgot to tell you,
すで
but
に
you
お
were
前は
already within
私
my
の
range.
射程に入
I bet, Dad, this thing is
加え
sensitive
て
to
これ
human
は
being.
動き回るのは勝手だ
I
が
don't mind you moving,
不用
but you
意
will
に
die if you move carelessly. I jumped back to avoid Black Mud mercilessly attacking him. Screw moving carelessly. He's ready to kill me. Yeah, you fake priest. I stand up, still keeping watch over the lake. The distance between Kotomine hasn't changed. That means this 10 meters is as near as he wants me to get. But that tentacle of mud stretches without limit. He will come after me if he wants it to. And I'm sure there are more than one.
こういや
So you're ready to fight. That pleases
こ
me.
のまま立ち去るのな
I could
ら
not
殺
kill
しようがな
But
か
to
った
run away,
お
but
前
there will be
本
no
人が
problem if
争
you
う
attack me.
何しろこ
I
れ
serve
も
God,
神に
so I
仕え
cannot kill someone who is pleading for
助
their
けを
life.
求め
よく言う
Don't lie.
人を背中
You
から
can't
襲
say
った
that
や
of
つが
attacking someone from behind. You must have remembered what happened with Lancer. Kotomine laughs as if in admiration.
そうだ
Oh yes, I hated you for that.
これ以上先
There's no need to put it off any
延ば
longer.
しにする正
To
直
be honest,
に
I had hopes for you, Yashiro. I felt some sort of
私はお
fate
前
when
に
Rin
期
came to
待
the
し
church
て
with
い
you.
たのだ
You cannot know how happy I was
教会
when I
に
found out you
導
were
いた
Kigitsuku's son,
運命すら感
and
じた
that you were like
お
him
前
on the
があの
inside as
男
well.
に10年前に
The
かなわなか
wish
っ
that did not come true 10 years ago.
たエミ
I
ヤ
never
キリツェと
expected
い
that
う
I
男に
to get my
こう
revenge
し
on
て
Emiya
もう一度
Kigitsuku.
い
The tentacle whips out. The quivering mud comes like a black snake. I bite my lip. This is the worst situation than I thought. The number of snakes continue to increase without end. I don't know how long I can survive, let alone get close to him.
勝機がないのは
It's
当然だ
unnatural for you to be unable to win.
お前の生きた
There's a
年
large
数
difference in the years we have
私
lived.
の生きた年
The
数で
difference
は
you cannot
大きく
overcome
開
unless
き
you
がある
have something major. The priest raises his hands. He glares at the heavens as if conducting an orchestra.
命をかける
Put your life on the
あるい
line.
は
You might be able to reach me if you do so. Release the black snakes. Sparks fly out. The Golden Knight retreats, but below, to her utmost spirit. She must have seen it as an opening. Saber dodges the swinging sword, moves deeper into the enemy's range. If the yell is a rip, the sword is like a compass. It overwhelms the opponent if any hesitates, but she keeps attacking. The sword keeps moving. It has destroyed rocks and pierced through walls, but every blow blocked by weapons appearing from behind him. You persistent. Escaping danger, the Golden Knight Gilgamesh has another sword in his hand. It's easy to repel that weapon, but she cannot block it straight on. All the enemy's weapons have unknown abilities. You'd be suicidal to block it without knowing its ability. So you're just back at her range and catches her breath. Gilgamesh raises himself unheard. You do not give up, woman. Can you not tell that it's futile? Gilgamesh shows no fatigue. For him, this battle is just entertainment. There must be no fatigue or strain when he knows he's going to win. But it is different for Saber. For her, this moment's only a chance. For her enemy becomes serious. She has to defeat Gilgamesh before he takes out Ea, or she will be the one defeated. This is why she continued to attack without saving her energy. She has cornered the enemy like this more than a few times. Still, she cannot go back to the past with his wall of noble phantoms. Are you still going to continue? It is good to be loyal to your master, but there should be a limit. That mongrel you would have killed by Kotomine by now. There should be no reason for you to fight now. My master is so very much alive, she will not be defeated by that. It can only be a matter of time. Do not know who will win, even if I have trouble against it. That kid can't last even a minute. You cannot beat me, and that kid cannot beat Kotomine. You have mistaken your role. If you had, after the Holy Grail, this battle would have been yours. Golden Knight's eyes are not laughing. He is serious. That is wrong. For Saber, such a choice would be a mistake. Nonsense. This is the correct decision. I will not lose to you, and Shiro will lose to a corpse such as that.
まだ出てもいない結果を期待
You
する
have
と
fallen low to hope for a result that is yet to happen. Oh, it seems you still have energy to impute space distorts. The number of double fantasy behind Gilgamesh increases.
来るか
It's coming. She grips her sword once more. Actually, there is a way. There's only one way. There's a way to defeat Golden Knight. For that, you'll not succeed unless several conditions are met. Even if she defeats Aya, you'll be able to defend her against her next attack if he has energy left. And the method to defeat Aya will remain unknown until she takes a direct hit from it once more.
エアを
Take a hit from Aya, no way. Even with the sheath, I would not be
い
able
か
to
に鞘が
up after being hit. But there's no other way to win. It's a matter of grasp the slight chance. Usually, she selects the best chance by instinct and follows that view. But right now, she cannot feel it with her instincts. Probably because the probability of victory is so low and the chance of comeback is pretty much zero. But still, she must fight. Shiro, who abandoned his protection to give her back her sheath. She cannot be defeated here by him.
そう
I see. It seems you will not be convinced without a complete loss. More weapons appear. They move without Gilgamesh touching them, and they aim at Sigurd. The weapons whose handles were only visible before all show their blades now, await their master's order. This is the nice way of fighting. From the beginning, Gilgamesh has never been a swordsman. These noble battles were produced in the air, become bullets at the master's command. That is why he's called Archer. This servant is an archer with the strongest arrows.
うまく避けろ
Do your best to avoid.
な
If you do well,
運が良
you
け
shall
れば
only be stabbed in the limbs. With one command, the Godspeed raid of swords begins. Each one has fatal power. She eludes every one like a falling leaf. The sword from the front, spear from the left, polearm from below and above. Three-edged sword, arcing attacking from behind. A swing from a hammer bigger than she is. She blocks, repels, and twists her body. And last attack. Breathing hard, Saber recovers into the stance she was driven out of. In that instant, she sees them behind her. Behind Gilgamesh. Double fans are produced. 47 of them. She jumps full force. Many double phantoms stab into the ground does not let her escape. The double phantoms she hit is hit time after time. Her armor is destroyed. Gutless pierced, and even the pieces covering her feet are pierced. Saber manages to avoid a fatal wound even in this danger, but then she sees the worst thing possible. On the other side of the rain, Noble Phantom. Finish up, Gilgamesh pulling out his favorite sword. Aya! She stops her jump. She lands right away, pours some magical energy into her holy sword. But will it be in time? Wind roars, the blade of light is revealed, and she raises her sword without warning, waiting for the wind to fully unseal. Excellent. She doesn't even bother with the rain until the family. The holy sword with all speed. Anima Elish. But it is too late. Pounding through his noble pattern, Gilgamesh swings his sword. I kick away the mucus around my ankle. My clothes are burnt away and my skin is exposed. I jump back from the striking tentacle. I can feel my right ankle. I can't even tell it's there, but I jump back into the open field in front of me. I check my body as I roll. Ankle, alright, it's still there. I can't feel it. If it's there, I should be able to run. I jump in a different direction again, avoiding the striking blow. There's a splashing sound right next to me. Sound of the ground burning. Forces my dizzy head awaken. Fire runs up my back. I shake it off and jump into the empty space. Namasu. Then, the end of this attack. The black mud surrounding disappeared from view for now. I bite my lip. I ran so much, but in the end, I am pushed back here again. I breathe hard, look at it, as if not to lose in spirit. Kotomine. He has just watched me run around. No matter how hard I breathe, my heart won't calm down. It's saying that it's at a limit and needs rest, or to go out on its own if I don't let it rest. I can't do anything. I can't get near Kotomine, nor can I get through the black mud. I'm not going to hold back I'm going to hold back on using my protection magic. If I can't move forward, I can reproduce Saber's sword again. Surely slice through the black mud and I can go straight for Kotomine. At all. Tell me if you've given up. And this is his piece. Lots of the mud splashing toward me, telling me I cannot let myself stop. I raise myself and barely dodge the mud. The mud itself isn't too bad. It's slow compared to Saber's Shinai, and it only comes after where it's aimed, so it's easy to dodge. But that's only true when there's only one of them. I can't deal with 10 of the mud attacks. The ones that come from behind me, the instant I dodge them. As a result, I can only move around. Even then, mud covers me bit by bit. Damn. There's no time to rest. I can't reproduce a sword like this. Protection magic tracing a weapon beginning requires at least 1 minute of concentration. If I show such an opening, I'll be melted down to my boot. The parts of my body covered in the mud have lost sensation. The only good part is that I don't feel any pain, but I won't know if I'm dead or not when the mud covers my whole body. I'm finished when that happens, and most of all, I'll have the belted away better. All I can do is run. I know it's only a matter of time even if I do so, but I have to keep running for now. I won't have any luck to get near Kotomine while dodging this mud. I can't get close now. Waiting for Kotomine is a pool of mud. If there's any chance of getting near him, it'll be when I think about this mud. Oh damn. I can't believe it. Who on earth would trip at a time like this? Kotomine looks down at me like trash. He points his finger at me, many snakes show their veins. I get up. I try to get up, but fall again. I fall. The snakes are coming. But I still fall. Why? Black mud comes from my neck. Why? Oh, I see why. My right ankle's unbelievably black. So that is it. I hoped I would have a little fun, but you are Kiritsugu-san. You people are useless. But I raise my head, still conscious. My wrists and neck are held like chains, but still retain my senses. Why didn't you finish me off? I will soon. But just doing that would not be all that fun. You are Kiritsugu's fate, so that if Kiritsugu owes me, and years ago, shall be returned with your death. The skin with mud is burning. I feel like it feels like acid is seeping through pores in my skin. I grit my teeth, bare it, and check on my right ankle. It's totally black. I can't feel it, nor can I move it at all. I'll have to take the mud out of my body, or pour magical energy into it, so it can move clotted blood. Either way, the moment I move it, all the muscle in my right ankle will be destroyed. I see. I don't care about that, but why do you hate Kiritsugu so much? What's it so annoying that Kiritsugu destroyed the Holy Grail? It's just hatred for a similar person. Kiritsugu and I were alike. For everything he did got on my nerves. The same way as you feel your hatred towards him. Shut up. Don't you dare say Kiritsugu was like you. I raised my body with my arms and glared at him. I don't know what's so funny, but he makes an evil smile. I see. He must be so for you. After all, he was a good enough person to let me go. He defeated me, and the cause of that disaster. But he did not take my life. Who should have known that was a mistake? If he had killed me, those orphans would have been able to lead a peaceful life. You should not be able to retort. But it was unpleasant for you as well. The fact that such a cold-hearted Magus left me alive was unpleasant. That again. Paper said too that Kiritsugu was a great Magus. He would do anything to accomplish his goals. That was not his mistake. The mistake he made that he thought this war had ended with the destruction of the Holy Grail. That is why he did not tell you anything, optimistically thinking the Holy Grail war was over. He died stained in this curse. He was certainly a fool. He let the one who cursed him go, and as a result, died within a few years. Believe it. He had accomplished his goal, but the Holy Grail war had ended. Hold on. What? Because who died because of this guy? And the peaceful faith note on the night of his death was... Let me ask you one question. What was Kiritsugu's last moment? Did he give something to his son and pass away with satisfaction? How foolish he can be. He accomplished nothing and pushed the responsibility onto you. His passiveness is ridiculous. You! I kick off the ground. I drew magical energy in my right foot and moved it. Of course. You're not tearing my son run to all fours like a dog. Yeah, I would expect at least that much spirit. Gotemon raises his hand, the waterfall behind him. What is he thinking? That is a curse so strong that it is visible. You could call it magical energy specialized for destroying people. There's no way. Nothing you can do cannot be reshaped. Anybody touches that mud stained curd and melted as if digested. In the process, the pain, fear before death remains magical energy. For the next curse to seek out living people. So you die if you touch it. Anybody who touches it will die unless you let out of their body. The priest stuck his water full of mud, but he did not stop smiling. This is your reward. Die in the same manner as Kiritsugu. In manner is black darkness. It's not completely different, and the world is attacked in a sudden flash of light. The moment I realize that is the light of Saber's double phantasm. Angra Mainyu. The priest's words instantly turn the world black. So let's go back to Saber. Her vision is blinded, filled with darkness. If she were conscious, she would have known it was the ultimate black light. The darkness was only for an instant. It was not only darkness, but a swarm of grain-sized curses. The darkness swept her body away. She regained consciousness for an unpleasant sensation. Oh, she gasps. The first thing she feels with consciousness returning is pain. The skin that was protected by armor is burned, her body is pierced and slashed, and she is in a miserable state. I see, I lost to Aya. She was quartered to Gilgamesh's double phantasm and could not block them, and took a hit from Aya as well. She managed to offset it a bit with Excalibur, but her body is wounded too badly. The wound is healing without magical energy. Even with the protection of the sheath, it will not return her to a normal instant. There. This is it, Saber. Don't tell me you refuse to admit your defeat in that state. Gilgamesh approaches without a scratch. Still on the ground, Saber looks up at her. She cannot do anything right now. That man can do whatever he wants with her. Gilgamesh. That light was. In spite of that, this was about this is what she worries about. That flash of light. That black darkness. Back of the compound covered the earth for an instant. She does not think about it, but that darkness named it Shiro. Light. You should be able to tell. It's a great curse. Gotemon must have summoned it straight from the Holy Grail. I heard the Holy Grail holds something that could curse everything in this world. The pollution you've seen up to now is just what remains will come out of the Holy Grail. The primary curse has been summoned. Your master should be no longer be. No, that cannot be. She concentrates all her power. She knows her body will not move. But she cannot die just lying on the ground. No. Shiro's alive. He is still. Certainly she feels a connection with her master. It is weak and ready to go out, but Emiya Shiro is still alive, so she must go. The enemy is doing unforeseeable. Shiro can't match it. Using her warmth inside her, she tries to get up, but it is useless. Even the sheath of the Holy Sword would require a few more minutes to heal her body. It's too late. Stay still, Saber. The Holy Grail overflow, but you do. The events of 10 years ago will reoccur. But this bridge was for your benefit, not mine. Looking up at the red burning sky, the Golden Knight smiles. Rejoice, Saber. You are showered with it. You become like me, your little body in this world, and be able to enjoy your second life. Though, I'm not sure you'll be able to keep all your sanity like I did. Saber looks up at her enemy in amazement. You can tell the thing is a great curse. It's a magnificent cluster of magical energy and any magic possible that amount. If it were a caster using it, nothing would be impossible. But it's a double-edged sword. That thing can only curse people. But meant for such a thing, even a heroic spirit is unable to keep themselves together. That makes her realize. The servant in front of her. This knight called the oldest king heroes. He was swallowed by the pollution 10 years ago. So, Gilgamesh, he's gone insane already. Oh, you think so? I think Gilgamesh looks down at Saber. His face looks crazy, and it suits him. Do not take me so lowly. How can I be a hero if I cannot swallow such a curse as this? All these bring at least 3 times as much to sustain me. See, Saber. A hero is someone who carries everything they see. I am already carrying everything in this world. Saber grasps Krellin with the words. She will never come to terms with this heroic spirit. His arrogant thinking, his selfishness himself the greatest, and his merciless nature never thinks of others. This is different from the past of the king she chose, a set of beliefs that will never overlap with hers. But this man is still a king. She can say that with confidence. Of all servants, this man is the only one who would be able to keep his sanity without being soaked in vast curse. Because he is egotistical as hell. But he was good. But it's no fun if you go crazy because, well, let's hold our marriage now. Gilgamesh. Do you dislike to be treated roughly? Then get used to it. I do not hold myself back from them or food. I plunder them and eat them at my leisure. Held upside down, Saber glares at Gilgamesh. So you honor your master as a servant. I see. Ridiculous. I cannot believe you gave him your body just because he binds the command spell. You are wrong. Do not misunderstand, Gilgamesh. I do not obey anyone. My body has never had such freedom. Oh. Then you will not be mine no matter what. His red eyes pierce Saber. There is no human emotion. He will kill her if she disobeys. He will kill her no matter what and how attracted he is to her. These are his true feelings. Gilgamesh's truth. Saber stares back at Gilgamesh, not averting her gaze. Gilgamesh, I will not become anyone's. I already belong to my country. My body is a king before I am a woman. She does not say it to anyone. She just says so, feeling the small warmth still within her body. So that is your answer. Do not make me laugh, Saber. A country is just a possession. If he cannot rule everything, there is no need for transcendental being the king. Jeez, King Arthur. That is why your own country destroyed you. The Golden Knight sneers at her immaturity. That breaks her back her determination. Yes, you were correct, but King of Heroes. That is why you destroyed your own country. A roar from Chaos Spirit. Saber uses her whole body to kick Gilgamesh in the face with her free leg. What? Gilgamesh lets go. Saber stands upside down now. He's upside down and jumps using her arms. You would stomp on a man. You must really want to be disciplined, Saber. She closes her eyes and looks within herself. That's why you destroyed your own country. She already knew that. She heard those words over and over when she was summoned as Saber. But that man is different. He was mad like it was his own affair, but still, you thought it's something to be proud of. So there was only one thing that must be done. Even if there is the slightest chance of winning, she cannot stop there. While the warmth is still in her heart, you must run to her master as fast as possible. About 8 meters to Gilgamesh. Place yourself at the best range she can find her. Her body will not move as she wishes. Her legs do not have even a tenth of their original power, and her arms holding her sword are weak. She will fail, all without block no matter what kind of weak attack she receives. But there is no openings in Saber's stance, nor is there any hesitation. Let me ask you. Gilgamesh is preparing himself, seeing her like that. Golden King readies Aya and looks at the opponent.
それは正気
Are you sane? Saber does not answer. Her eyes show her determination.
よかろう
Alright. I will not hold back in that case. The air rolls. The sword of separation. Aya. A sword set in ancient Mesopotamia to have divided and created the world. Gilgamesh's sword of separation roars to exterminate its enemies for sure this time. The swirl of air, magical energy, far exceed that of Excalibur.
消え
Disappear. You are annoying, woman. Aya is raised. Saber raises her sword to match it. Their gaze meet only for an inch. Gilgamesh's sword is swung. Saber's sword falls without touch. She's unable to activate the noble talents. The light that cuts everything she touches. Unable to do anything, she is swallowed by the wind. Now back to Shiro as he deals with curses. The instant I am swallowed by the darkness, hell is printed into my brain. The starting penalty is 5. Life penalty, body penalty, freedom penalty, fame penalty, fortune penalty. Give the penalty that extends so much punishment, mud, darkness, malice, elimination of human rights, cessation, exile, execution, torture and sadism upon the body to digestion, denial of consensus of the colony that eliminates all honor. Die. Scorn from judgment and selfishness takes away men's fortunes. Death penalty. Penal servitude, imprisonment, custody, fine penalty, crime from grudge, crime from self-interest, unconscious crime, self-conscious crime, civil war, inductment, false statement, theft, robbery, kidnap, suicide, rape, arson, bombing, violation, negligent homicide, mass violence, death at work, overconfident accident. Die. Misdiagnosis, concealment, violation for benefit, violation of self-protection, violation of love, violation of respect, selfish blank, stealing fraudulent, fraud, concealment, murder, theft, crime, personal grudge, attack, dirty, you are dirty, atone, every violence, every crime, every victim, atone for everything. This world is ruled by something not human, known for consciousness to reform crimes. Die. The penalty of reformed crimes, people's kindness is here. There's so much not being noticed. The violence to hide crimes, known the power to hide crimes. People's malignance is here. It is rare that it is noticed. 100 kindness and 1 malignance. Malignance shines bright to keep the balance and exist. The great evil to complete the masses of kindness. The starting penalty is 5. For self. Indictment, false statement, robbery, kidnap, suicide, rape, arson, dirty, atone. Die! My brain explodes. The mud eating in my body remains and steals my warmth mercilessly. I am crushed by the thing slipping through all 5 senses. Darkness I cannot look at directly. Ugliness I cannot acknowledge. Crimes I want to run away from. Every crime of the people in this world. That is why I am going to die. One trapped in this darkness will lead themselves to death, pain, and hatred. But Kotomine said that this curse killed Kyoritsugu. That fact knocks away every darkness. Warmth returns to my body. Blood flows through my beaten up body and makes it stand. So unnatural. Such a thing, Emiya Kyoritsugu had been burned for many years. He was pressed by the voices of atonement and died unable to fulfill his wish. He said he wanted to become a superhero. He ran around trying to help someone, but could not get anyone's permission for that. Yet, he still did it, as he could pursue the ideals he had abandoned. In the end, he was relieved by something Kid said and nodded to himself that everything was okay. So I have to stand up. I relieve Kyoritsugu and promise that I'd become one. If Emiya Shiro really is the superhero's son, then I can't let that bad guy beat me. Tosaka said, I should win no matter what. Saber said, he is the enemy that I must defeat. Even Kotomine said, I'm going to fight. I should put my life on the line. That's right. What else can I bet if I won't bet my life? From the beginning, I have nothing else to give. I leaped desperately out of the dead's back mud. I could hear his bewilderment. My throat is burning. My windpipe tears every time I breathe, and it feels like I'm swallowing a piece of glass. I don't care. tears well up from anger. I'm going crazy from anger before I go crazy from the curse.
バカな
Impossible. You managed to shake that thing off. I push my body and run. I put one hand behind my back. I grab the dagger and pin him to the knife.
呆れたな
I am astonished.
あれから逃れ
I
た
thought you
と
would
思
escape
えば
that
その
day.
短絡思
But
考
you have a simple mind.
もは
It
や
seems you have run out of
う
ideas.
るさい
Shut up. I've never had any beginnings big in the first place. I run. Illuminate sticks his hand in the waterfall behind him and directs him into the clump of darkness. Then you can follow your servant. That previous life was Saber being
先の
defeated.
光はセー
You
バ
have
ーが
no...
破る
no. All my hesitations disappear. But I do reach Kotomine, I think his biggest mistake with that line. Because the command spell is on my left hand. It's the only proof I have. As long as my command spell exists, Saber exists. If she exists, she must defeat Gilgamesh by now, and she'll be headed over here. I think Saber would be angry if I greet her with open arms. So I will defeat you now. Fulfill the last promise I made to her. Darkness approaches. A great curse is released from Kotomine's hand. My body melts from his finger. I won't look away. If this is my role, there is something I can do. Ah, Elish! A dislocation runs through space. With a flash of light, this world destruction is set loose from me. With that in front of her, Saber not even using her fantasy. She lowers her sword, looks upon Orodus falling. The light approaches. She cannot avoid it with her injured legs. There is no shield in this world to block air. The storm of light destroyed everything in its path. Nothing could stand it. Just the true name of Ea. That is the fact that can make a change. Yes. Until a few hours ago. The one surprise is not Saber, but the golden light bearing Ea. Ea is emitting magical energy bringing forth destruction. But Saber steps forward from the length storm of light. Her armor screams out. Cracks run through every wall of magical energy protected. In the period shorter than a second that they endure the attack, Saber steps up to Gilgamesh. Excalibur! She opposes Ea's destruction with the greatest power she can. Demon light rumble wildly. The crash of the greatest swords put against each other with pure power greater than boundary in space. But is it not useless? If Excalibur cannot beat Ea, even if he approaches at the risk of her life, she can only be pushed back just a little. Balance easily favors Ea, and Excalibur's lightning held back the one inside. So you must have lost your mind. Ready, Ea. Golden Knight looks at you approaching again, puts magical energy into Ea. This would be it. You totally annihilate Saber with his always power. Ea turns, reaches maximum speed. Light surrounding Saber moves down Excalibur. But just before that, Saber's body jumps forward. A small space is created by Excalibur, a place where she can take one more step. And she reaches it, her noble phantasm appears. The darkness becomes raging wind to cover Himiyashiro. There's no way to avoid it, and the concept of blocking is useless against a curse that paints space itself. Those swallowed in this darkness will be absorbed by it like the painted space. Body melting from my fingertips. Legs move forward, steps through an empty space, and arms reaching out are already invisible in the black mud. Himiyashiro will be eliminated from the outside. Attacked by the feeling that his body is shrinking, Himiyashiro does not accept it. Without looking away, he rejects it with all his might. Darkness surrounding him. Pain trying to melt his body, and the curse trying to melt his mind. But they are futile attempts. There is no way for a mere human to resist the pollution. The body is still moving. The arm raised to grab something is still raised. But the mind is already destroyed. The mind is already painted in black. The body should disappear into the darkness as well. In that moment, you were mine. Why is that voice remembered? A light turns on in the darkness. An instant, eyes realize the light is that light. Everything reverses. The hammer comes knocking down. The mind accelerates, crackles with sparks. It creates a shape with unbelievable speed. Trace on. The spell begins projection is murmured. In an instant, it is completed, omitting every step of manufacture. That is right. There was no need to reproduce it from scratch. because this shape was engraved in the body. It is perfect in memory, as it was part of Emiya Shiro's body.
あなたが
You were my sheath.
私の
The arm reaches out, still moves. The weapon created without concentration or spellcasting is grabbed. The world changes completely as the darkness is destroyed by golden light, and Emiya Shiro's hand is perfectly reproduced as the sheath of a saber. And like that, with Aya straight ahead of her, her noble phantasm is activated. What? That which is released is scattered before her, the holy sword's sheath. No one knows what kind of divine mysteries it is made from, but the sheath repels all light emitted by Aya. No, it goes beyond the level of defending. It is complete isolation. It's the barrier of fairy that keeps all the felt outside lands. A complete world that separates from this one that can never be reached. Saber is protected by the sheath of the holy sword. She is blocked off from all matter in this world. The greatest protection in this world. The greatest that cannot be infringed on by anything, not even the 5 sorceries. For that reason, the sheath is named Avalon. All is a distant utopia. The place where King Arthur is said to have gone after his death. The utopia the king dreamed of that will never be reached. Gilgamesh seems that death running up his spine. But he won't make it. The raised Aya won't stop turning, and Gilgamesh cannot manage to jump back. It is unnatural. Who would even think that an attack with this much magical energy, this much power, could be blocked? Damn, such a trick. Blue clothes run in. There is no armor on Saber. She has released the armor protecting her, put all the magic energy gained into her sword, and X. No, that speaks for itself. All darkness is blown away, and in an instant the sheath is grabbed. The darkness surrounding Emiya Shiro, the darkness contaminating his body. Everything is dispersed. This is no reason to be surprised. The sheath of the holy sword protects its possessor. The embodiment of utopia she sought cannot lose to this dirty nut. He runs. The moment he is released from the darkness, his speed is like that of a shooting star. Projection. Just who are you? The one overestimating their ability, and the one who can spare to think about such things. The difference is only an instant, but an instant that decides the outcome. Kotomine Kire. Still failing, Emiya Shiro runs on his hands as well. With one hand is the dagger, in a crouching position running to the Black Priest. Sword of Retribution stabbed in the priest's chest. The priest turns slowly. Before that, stopping himself with his feet, Emiya Shiro jumps back. The spinning body, all his magical energy in his left hand. He takes it like a whirl of heat. Locked. Magical energy that is poured from the other sword. One last word of release. Golden sword was swung. She must not have enough energy to raise it back up. Saber keeps her sword and her face down, slashed up from it. The sound of wind echoes through the compound. The waves of light are like a flood and are no more. Two knights share no words as they place themselves in a parting. Hold the battle's end. And the man sighs, raises his weak hand, touches the cheek of the knight in front of him, as if making sure she exists. You are a hateful woman. You oppose me to the very end. The golden armor starts to fade away. The existence of the King of Heroes is disappearing. But I shall forgive you. Some things are beautiful because they cannot be obtained. His fingers slip. His raised arm falls powerlessly to the ground. And if that's the case, then it was inevitable that I would lose to you. He says sullenly, and in his last moments, goodbye, King of Knights. It was indeed fun. He smiles ironically and disappears. Sparks fly into the priest's uniform. The sparks are coming from the dagger in his chest. No chunks of flesh and blood are flying out. But still, the battle here is over. He doesn't even look at me. He's just looking down at the dagger, just in disbelief. The wind is blowing. The wind is coming from the void above that eliminates all the sounds around it. In the rumbling silence.
なぜ
Why do you have this
お
sword?
前が
Otomine Kirei remembers in a clear voice.
それは俺のじゃない
It's not mine. I borrowed it from
父
Tosaka.
さん
How long was he thinking? He sighs and his body hasn't moved since the beginning. Confrontation finally
そう
moves.
か
See,
以前
indeed
気
was
ま
a
ぐれで
time when I
どこぞ
gave
の
it to
娘
some
にくれ
girl
て
on
や
a
る
whim.
ことがあっ
I believe it was 10 years ago.
たなるほど
I see. No wonder I have become weak. The body of the priest falls to the ground. I watch it all. He has talked about himself like he was someone else until the very end. The priest shrinks into which he summoned, that which he wished for. That is the end of the man called Kodomine Kirei, and the true end of the long battle. The enemy is gone, and I face a funnel arched task. A black void in the sky. The mud has stopped, but the strange void is still beating. That is the Holy Grail. The omnipotent Grail has been given to the winner of this war. There is a wind blowing. Kotomine is gone, the power binding Ilia must have vanished. Ilia is now free of the void, and she's sleeping by my side. I don't know what condition she's in, but it doesn't seem like her life is in danger. She should wake up fine if I go home and have Tosaka look at her. The war has ended. Nobody else is going to get hurt, and I won't lose to anyone else. The masters are gone, and the servants will disappear as their task is over. I already knew this was going to happen. We climbed these long stairs together. Our parting is already done. All that's left is to close the curtains. I wait with an empty mind, looking up at the void, and she appears. She walks straight towards me, her figure unchained, as time I saw her. She stops close enough where I could reach out to her. There are no words to confirm her safety, or congratulate her on victory. This was something that was already decided. So there's one thing left to do.
聖杯を破壊します
I'll destroy the Holy Grail.
そ
That
れ
is my
が
role. So saying, she starts to walk. Strong wind to protect her as she approaches it step by step. She must be in range. She quietly readies her sword up with the black void. I stare at her back, catch my fist in my heart, bite my lip, stifle the words about to come out of my mouth, engrave figure into my mind. And then, Master, please give me the order. I cannot destroy it without your order. With her back to me, she tells me to use my last command spell. Saber will disappear once the Holy Grail is destroyed. No, as she will destroy the Grail, she will never again become a servant. Saber became a servant because she thought the Holy Grail. Destroying the Holy Grail out of her own means will be destroying her contract as well. If destroyed the Holy Grail, she will end her life as the king.
白
Shiro, I want to hear you say it. Saber's voice. Every time I hear it, I want to scream. To tell her not to go. I want to scream for her to stay here. But that's something I should do, even for the sake of my own life. I love Saber. I want her to be happier than anyone. And I want her to be with her forever. But if I truly love her, that's wrong. I love Saber, so she should fight, even after getting hurt. She was a girl who discarded everything, was filled with injuries, yet still protected all the way through. If I considered that beautiful, want to protect it, I cannot destroy her life just for my own selfishness. Hello. She was born a king and lived as a king. She will not change no matter what. From time she swore to carry the sword, the girl became a king and nothing else. That is her pride. She ran through the battles so that through her final moments she would be able to believe her path was the right one. The dreams of the girl of Toria The mind that chose to be the king for her own life. To fight. Even after she learned to be unrewarded, she still clasped her sword and defended the oath of the king. For many years. I cannot do any dishonor to the pride that she has held until the time of her death.
Saber.
Saber, please fulfill your role. I say so with a flood of emotions. An overflowing light. The void in the sky is cut in half by the light and disappears without a trace. There's nothing left. The destroyed mountain is now a flat field. Dawn is in the distance. The horizon is shining in gleaming gold. My left hand hurts. The last command spell disappears. That makes me accept that the curtains have been drawn.
これで
So everything is over. Yeah,
これで終わり
position.
だ。
There's nothing left.
そうですか。
I see. And our contract is at
で
an
は
end.
私たちの
I
契約
became
も
your
ここ
sword,
までです
defeated the enemies, and protected you.
この約
I am
束を
glad to have fulfilled this promise.
そうだな。
You did well, Saber. Nothing more needs to be said. Saber is far away, and I do not run. The morning sun rises. The halted wind begins again. The goal seems to last forever. In it.
最後に
In the end, there is one thing I must tell you. He says in a voice filled with determination. What is it? I reply like always, my best bluff. Saber's body wavers. He is facing me. Looks straight at me with a voice without any regret.
シロ
Shiro, I love you. Says those words. Wind blows. I close my blinded eyes and open them. I don't think there's any surprise. I kind of saw this coming. That our party would be like this. What open field filled my eyes. As the wind blew, the night disappeared. Just as she appeared, leaving no trace. Really is just like you. There are no regrets in my voice. I squint at the rising sun, keeping everything I lost close to my heart. I stare at the horizon, wishing never to forget, and for it to never fade away. A distant land glowing in sunlight, resembling the golden fields she ran through. Alright, time for the epilogue! AKA the ending. I hear a sound. I hear the sound of an old, heavy, rusted door of the shed open. Light comes into the dark shed. I start to wake up. Senpai, are you awake? I don't even need to check who was here. Oh, it's that time already. Taking a breath, I open my eyes.
おはようございます
Good morning, Senpai. It's almost time to wake up. I guess you're right. Morning,
そう
Sakura.
みたいだ。
Thanks for coming to wake me up. No,
お
it's
礼を
nothing
言われるこ
you
とじゃ
thank
あ
me
り
for.
ません
I knew you would wake up
先輩
properly,
ならきちんと起きて
so
く
I
れ
only
る
did
んだろう
need
多分
this thing.
そっか。
I see.
けど
Why did you come wake me
わ
up?
ざわざじゃありません
I wanted to wake you up
今
today,
朝は先
so I
輩を
woke up
起こした
30
の
minutes
で
earlier than usual.
いつもより
Today's a special
30
day,
分
you
早
know.
い
That reminds me. That's right, today is a special day. Sakura.
聞くまでもないと思う
I
ん
didn't
だ
even
が、
ask,
藤根
but
は
Fujine
まだ
isn't
来て
here
る
yet, right? Fujimura
内村
sensei
先
isn't here
生は
yet.
まだ
Oh, but Ilia-chan is already here. As I thought. Ilia being the only one here means one thing.
まずい。
Crap. Sorry, Sakura.
すま
Can
ない
you
んだ
take
け
care
ど
of breakfast?
朝食の支度
I'll
を
go and
頼む
wake Fujine up. Oh, yeah. Sorry for your trouble, Senpai. Fortunately, I worked late last night as well, so I'm still in my work clothes. It's good, I can go outside without having to change,
10分で戻るから、
I'll be back in
あと
10
はよろしく頼む。
so I'll leave the rest to you. Yes, please do.
あれ
Oh, Shiro's awake.
なあ、
Yeah,
今起きた
I。just woke up.
ちょっと
I'm gonna go
藤根
wake
を
up
起こして
Fujin.
くるから。
So help Sakura out, would you? Patting Ilia on the shoulder, I head to the front entrance.
やられた
I got beat. Jeez.
シロは私
I
の
told you
腰
I'm
に
gonna wake up
乗って
Shiro.
るでしょ
Sakura. Ilia runs to the shed, screaming. Such a scene isn't that unusual now. Ilia said she would go back to her country, so I consulted Fujine to see if I could keep her at my place. Fujine really objected, saying her house would be better, and ended up taking Ilia in. Since then, still staying at the Fujimura house, Ilia comes attacking with Fujine at the morning and at night. Needless to say, their target is breakfast and dinner. It must be 2 months since we started living together. They must be in union. When I walked past the shed area, I hear voices putting on the wall. It's Sakura and Ilia talking. I thought Ilia would not get along with Sakura since Ilia has unreserved personality, but I was wrong. The good two consisting energy Ilia and the quiet Sakura are getting along quite well, even though they're rather noisy. In fact, Sakura is regaining her spirit because of Ilia. Sakura stopped smiling when her older brother Bato Shinji disappeared and was considered missing. She must have vaguely understood the connection with Koma incident at the school. She was worried about missing Shinji and hoped for a long time. It was Ilia who forcibly made Sakura get over it, and Sakura regains her chillfulness when Ilia is around. Yeah. Sakura is able to laugh now. I'm purely happy for that, because that soft smile certainly suits her. You're mean, Ilia-chan. I even gave you a special bonus to make me happy no matter what. Fujine scoffs down breakfast while crying. It's only natural. I'll be late too if I wait for Taiga. I worked enough what I got paid for. If you want more out of me, you should raise the base pay and not just give me a special pay. Why are you such a when you get paid from your grandfather as well? Everyone would hate if you're stingy about money at such a young age. I don't care if I'm hated. I don't care what people besides the other ones I like think of me. And Taiga, pay me back the money I let you borrow. Your payday was 5 days ago. How do you know about that? I heard from Raiga. I can give you the details as well if you wish. Ilia smiles daringly. In contrast to Sakura, Ilia and Fujine do not get along well. And to add, Ilia gets really mad. Really mean. Well, not mad. Mean when she faces Fujine. That smile right now. It's like a certain summer. You have until tomorrow to repay me. If you can't, I'll just take it away from your allowance. Grandfather told you even that? Yes, we're together all new. Raiga prays. I'm much cuter than Taiga. What are you talking about, Shichiro? This girl is such a devil. She'll take over the Fujiwara group if you let her be. Actually, more than that. We're still getting allowances at that age. See you back, Shiro. We're going to be back early tonight, today, right? Then I'll be waiting here. So come home right away. Yeah, I'll try. Take a while back. Might as well live here, you idiot. Fujine sulks while hiding behind my back. Yeah. You should get yourself together too. You can't cause Shiro trouble outside. Ilia easily turns aside her remark. The power of relationship must be already at a position where Fujine can't push back by force. Then I'll be going ahead. So don't walk slow and be late for school. Brr. Leaving the house of Izawa, Fujine disappears like a bullet. Fujine got her license a month ago. Since then, her tardiness decreased considerably, but she has received another nickname of Rocket Tiger. I mean, Rocket Diver. That only she doesn't know about. I stretch out and take a deep breath. Sakura has gone to school already. Seiga, eating a large bowl of rice today, it seems she is in really high spirits. Today is the big day for the archery club. Sakura must be enthusiastic to work hard so as the co-captain of the archery club. Well, let's go to school. Today is April 7th. There's a school entrance ceremony, and the season passed in the winter and is already into spring. It's been 2 months since then. Feels like a lot has changed since she has gone away, but I think the changes are trivial. Winter has ended, spring came, it's all that's changed. I feel like I've grown up a bit. It's not like it's caused me to be any different. So not much has changed. And Miyashiro is clumsily running after Kitsuku as usual. Good morning, Emiya. It's unexpected to see you in the morning. Hey, it's a good day today, Tosaka. I raised my hand to greet. Was it really unexpected? We're barely missing each other recently. Certainly didn't come to too many times before. Comfort. Tosaka glares at me and happy about something. I don't think it's good to send Aura and first thing in the
まさ
morning.
か
That's okay.
もしかして
You changed the
投稿
time
時
you
間
leave your
変え
house.
たのか
You came later before,
ま
right?
あもうち
You
ょっと
came at a
遅か
time
った
that
な
wasn't too late or too early.
そんなことないわよ。
That's not true.
今まで
It's only coincidence that we did see each other at the
知ってる？
You
エ
know?
ミヤ君と
My house
私
and
の
your
家
house are in the
しっ
exact
かり
opposite
正反対
directions.
の位置にあ
So
る
if
の
we get up and go down the
だ
hill,
から
it's only natural that we meet
へ
here.
えそれは初耳だ
That's the first time I've
そっ
heard of it.
かそれなら
I
確か
see
に
it. But certainly. Wait, hold on. That's only if we do the same things around the same time. If Tosaka come with the intersection at this time, she would have to get up at 6.
そう
That's
さか
that's okay.
お
You're
前
not sleepy. I ask her directly.
何よその言い分
What do you mean by that?
私
I'm
は
not sleepy or pushing
な
myself.
んだってそんなこと聞く
Why do you ask such a
いや
thing?
お前朝
you're
夜
not a
と
married person.
寝不足で学校に行くと
Don't ask your true self if you go to school with a lack of sleep.
授業中
You're
に
terrible
眠り
for
なんか
sleep
した
during class.
下手に起こそうものなら
I bet
寝
you'll
起き
rage
の悪魔みたいな
the face
顔した
with
父さん
awkward
が暴れるんだから
a wicked demon if someone tries to wake you up. Like, I will kill all that disturb my sleep kind of thing.
そんなこと
I won't do such a thing. I won't make such a mistake just waking you up 30 minutes early.
ほら早起き
See,
してるじゃ
you
ない
did wake up early.
ああ人の
Jeez,
起
quit
床時間
worrying
なんて
about
どうでもいいでしょ
when other people get up.
つまんない
If you have time to
生活をしてる
inquire
暇があ
about
るなら
things, just go to school. Jessica gets angry while looking away. Your excuse is plausible, so we stop by greeting here and we resume our way to school. We go up the hill. The streets and houses below me have all changed to show the coming of spring. The wind is comfortable, the cherry blossom flutter down occasionally from the school on top of the hill. Everything that could be seen and felt is pleasant.
何
Do you have any work at this time this week? I won't complain since it's your first time. It's your time.
そんなんで体壊
But
さない
don't get sick like that. No,
いや
I got today
弓道
off.
部で
I heard that the
新入部員
Archery
の
Club
歓
is
迎会をやるって
doing
い
a
うから
welcome party for the new
イリアを
members,
連れて
so I'm
遊び
thinking
に
about going with Ilya.
なんかさりげにすごい
You have
こと
some
して
great
るわよね
guts.
あなたって
You're a big shot if you're taking Ilya to
平気
school
な
with
顔してイ
such
リア
an
を学校に
unconcerned face.
な
It's
ん
not
かま
bad.
ずいか
I think
イ
it'll
リ
be
アだって
it'll let
暇
Ilya
つ
kill
ぶし
some
になるっ
time
て喜ぶ
and it should
と
make her happy.
まずいわよ
It is bad. It's bad, but I guess I'll show up
そういうこ
as
と
well
なら
then.
私もお邪魔
It
しよ
won't
う
be
かな
boring if Ilya is going to be
イ
there.
リアが
And
いる
most
な
of
ら
all,
退屈し
I
ない
just
し
can't leave her alone because
Nani
it's too dangerous. I'm thankful she says that. It's Tosaka, not Sakura or me, that understands Ilya the most. There's the fact that periodically she takes care of Ilya, but more importantly, Ilya and Tosaka are natural-born magi. I think Tosaka would be the good teacher for Ilya, as she doesn't quite realize what it's like to live with a magis while hiding that fact. Thus, things are settled into the way they should be. The damage the Holy Grail War is almost completely restored by the new priest dispatched by the church, and our everyday life is returned without problems. There are certainly things that were lost and will not return, but the wounds have slowly healed, and I should be happy about the regrets are fading away.
けど
But
意外
it was unexpected. And then Tosaka remembers Sirius looking down at the town below her. What was unexpected?
私
I thought he would be more depressed.
しばらくは立ち直れ
I
ない
thought
だろうなって
you wouldn't be able to get
思って
over it for a while. That is about the girl that isn't here anymore. Been 2 months since then. It's about the golden-haired girl we found the first time since
そうだな
Yeah.
俺
That's
も
what I
そう
thought
なる
too.
だろうって思ってた
I was about to go insane just thinking about the future.
けど蓋を
But
開
it
けてみ
turns
れ
out
ば
you didn't change
白
after
ったら
that.
今まで通りだったで
You
しょ
didn't even get depressed
落ち
as
込
you
む
were
ところ
fine
の
the
話
next day.
その時にね
At that time,
こいつ
I wondered,
大丈夫か
you're
な
really
と
alright.
思ったのよ
I can't put this into words
う
really
ま
well,
く言えないんだけど
but you had the atmosphere of a guy who would die in an accident the next day.
なんだそりゃなんで平気なのにあ
What
っ
is
さり
that?
死ぬんだよ
Why would I easily die when I'm doing well?
そういうこともあるの
Things like that happen.
人
When
間
people
ってのは
accomplish their life goals by
何か
mistake,
の手違いで一週
they
間
can
の目
suddenly
標を
die.
もう生きるのはいい
The
や
instant
と思った途
They
端
think like,
赤
oh,
信
I
号
don't
なのに
need
車が突っ
live
込ん
in
できたり
cars
あっさ
run
りと
into
階
the
段から落ちたり
running
する
red
んだから
lights and they fall down the stairs. Okay, Tosaka's metaphor is difficult to understand. She might want to say something about a peaceful death, going to heaven or something.
だから私は
So
そ
I
れ
was
が
worried
心
about
配
that.
だった
Times like that, people will
ああいう
feel
時
more
はね
relief if you are really depressed.
じ
Oh,
ゃあ
then
落ち
you
込ん
would
でたら
comforted me when I was depressed?
まさか
Of course not.
背中に蹴り
I
入
would
れて
have
一
had you
日で
kicked
立ち直らせてや
in
っ
the
たわ
back
よ
and made you get over it. I'm just saying it's a bit disappointing since I wouldn't do that. She looks away with pleasure. Her gesture looks so funny that I laugh.
何よ
What? Is this strange? No. It was a strict line surely fitting you, so I feel relieved. We both walk in looking spring sunlight. The hill is long, and it looks like it'll continue on in this blue sky. And as if saying something trifling,
じゃあもう未練はない
they
ん
don't
だ
have any regrets, but Saber gone at all? Sasuke murmurs while looking up at the sky. No,
未練なんて
probably don't have any regrets. Not a bluff, and I say with a calm state that even surprises me. There's no regret, but I don't have anything I forgot to tell you. That parting contained everything. What I wanted to do, what she dreamed of, it was a competition of our determination. And maybe I should have taken her hand and granted her dream. But there's something that we both felt was beautiful, and we desperately protected it until the very end. There's nothing to feel regret about. As she had properly ended her time, I cannot remain in reminiscence forever.
ほう
I see, and you've concluded this inside you already.
だから落ち込むこともな
That's
く
why you're not depressed or
思い出
filling
に
yourself
浸る
with
ことも
reminiscence. Yeah,
けど
I still dream
今
about
も
it.
夢に見る
I'll recall her for the rest of my
い
life.
つか記憶が
My
薄
memory
れ
will
て
fade away
あ
someday,
いつの声
and I'll
も
forget her
あ
voice
いつ
and
の
her
し
gestures.
それでも
But still, I'll remember
Come on,
forever
Papa.
this thing that occurred, and that I
Saber.
love Saber. Tosuke doesn't say anything. For some reason, she looks happy and starts to walk as if she's
ど
skipping.
うしたんだよ父坂
What's going on,
そん
Tosuke?
なに急いで
Did something happen to make you hurry?
別に
Nothing.
ただ
I just
早
want
く
to get to
学校
school
に
quickly.
さ
But
そう
let's
いう
hurry.
わけだから
I'll leave you
知らん
behind if you're slow. Turning around, Tosuke starts running up the hill.
なんだあいつ
What is she doing? Pushing herself when she's not a morning person. Grumbling, I throw the bag over my shoulder and start to run. It's 7:30. It's early time for a student to not be involved in any club activities. But I guess there's nothing wrong with being early. Running up the road that seems to go into the sky, I've reached the school earlier than usual. Today is the day New Year starts. If I'm to celebrate it, I have to shake off my old memories and hurry up. Traces will never go away, even when I almost cry from the vacancy hitting my heart. Blue skies in the distance. Feels so close. Yet, I cannot grab it, even if I feel its reach out of my hands. I looked up at the stars before, the stars that I cannot reach, and the wishes that will not be granted. There is nothing I have been able to leave behind for each other. Therefore, traces of memories will disappear someday. But still, even if it will not reach here, there should be something that will remain in our hearts. There is nothing that remains in our hands, where we lived the same time and looked up at the same things. If I can remember that, I can believe that we be together, even if we are far apart. I could assent to that. As we are things that will go away, there are also things that will never go away. That is why I will keep running for now. If I am aiming for the distance, there should come a day when I will be able to reach out to what I have been aiming for. Winter has passed, and it is spring, the season of new beginnings. Under the blue sky that she has also seen, I keep running up the hill. The battle has ended. Our last battleground, the battle that fought between split halves of our country, has ended the king's victory. The night is running. The battle has ended, the bloody red sun is set, and the darkness of the night is ruling over the battlefield. The hill covered in corpses is filled with curses, crying out to try and take the survivors with them. Through it all, the knight runs panting. A rein is in the knight's hands, and the wounded white horse earnestly follows him. The survivors are this knight and this horse. And this knight that is lying on the white back's horse. Your Highness, King Arthur, please come this way. He must have been wounded himself. Then the knight runs through the battlefield with all his energy. The king he is serving is on the verge of death. The king has defeated the enemy's king in personal combat, but the king received a fatal wound as well. The wound is fatal, even in the knight's eyes. The king that they have served will soon reach death. Please get a hold of yourself. Reach the forest, we shall certainly. Desperately calls out, or possibly the knight to have really believed it. Their king is immortal. As long as the guidance of the Holy Sword is there, the king will never die. He breathes hard, passes over the mountains of corpses, and heads for the forest that is not covered in blood. He knew the king's immortality. Therefore, he believes that the king's wound will heal if he escapes the cursed battlefield and makes it to a pure place. No, he could only believe so. He believed his own king, unlike the other knights. The king was isolated in the court, alienated by the knights, and was feared by the people. But the king did not show emotion in such a situation, and always stayed as an ideal, and the knights felt pride in his young king. He did not serve his country. He had entrusted his sword, struggled with power, and made his way as a personal guard of the king, as a young man, because it was this king. The masked king, the boy who tried to allow no other feelings, and to be fair. He might have hoped to be able to see the king's true face who went near the king. He just wanted to see the king's true expressions, not the face he put on during battle or in the castle, the real smiling face of a hero, which should appear in the court when he has been released from his duties. No matter how perfect the king is, he cannot strain his mind 24 hours a day. And that thinking proved wrong. The only thing he found out was the truth contrary to this expectation. He has made it to the rank of Imperial Guard and was able to guard beside the king. He guarded the king closer to any other knights and kept watch of the king's behaviors. Still, it did not even happen once. The king never smiled. Since when he felt anger toward him. The king has accomplished so many great deeds. Dude, much glory. The fact the king has never showed a peaceful face. You can never prove this fact. He wanted to believe such a thing should never be allowed. That's why he wished for the king to be awarded the light. But he has yet to accomplish that. The king is still isolated. That is why the knights continuously do not approve of the king's death. You cannot end here. You think the great king was not rewarded enough for his actions. Your Highness, please stay here. I shall get someone right away. The varsity reaches. The knight lays a single tree. The situation is a race against time. It takes half a day, no matter how much he hurries to the port where his own army left. Anyone with eyes will be able to tell the king's life will last till the morning or not. It isn't very telling. I shall certainly bring our troops here. He salutes his unconscious king in front of the horse, Bedivere. Before that, the king should conscious calls out his name. Your Highness, you regained consciousness? Yes. I was having a dream. A faint voice. But that voice seemed warmed. A dream? He calls out to search. The king's consciousness is not for certain. You shall go back to darkness unless he replies.
そうだ。
Yes. I have not seen
あま
many
り
dreams,
見たことがない
but I had a valuable experience.
それは
That is great.
では
Then please
どう
ease
ぞ
and
お気
rest.
遣いなくお休
I
み
shall
く
go
ださい
get the troops in that. Gasping sound. It sounds as if what the knight said was unexpected. Your Highness, have I been rude?
い
No.
や
I was just surprised at your
そなたの言い分に
I
驚
did
い
not
た
know a dream could be seen as
夢と
after one awakens.
目を
Are you
覚ました後
saying
で
I'll be
見
able
れ
to
るものなの
the same dream if I close my eyes again? Now it is the knight's turn to be surprised. He stutters, but replies even though he knows it's
は
lie.
い
Yes, if you
強
strongly
く
desire
思
it,
えば同じ
You should be able to
夢を見
continue
続ける
watching the
こと
same
もで
dream.
きるでしょう
I have that experience as well. Such a thing is not possible. What happens once and not continuously is what people call a dream. The knight lies in spite of that. He apologizes. This will be the first and last dishonesty he will perform toward them.
そうか
I see, you are knowledgeable, Bethany. The king murmurs as if impressed. His face, looking down, he doesn't look at the knight. The king breathes so softly, barely heard, and quietly,
ベリビー
Bedivere, take my sword. The king gives his last order in a faint voice.
良いか
As to this forest, go to the
こ
blood-stained
の
hill.
森を抜け
There's a deep lake beyond it.
あ
Throw
の
my
血
sword
の
into
慣れた
that
丘
lake. Your Highness, that is. The knight knows what that means. The sword of the lake. To let go of that sword, that was to prove the king and protect. and what protected the king means the end of the king he has served.
行くのだ。
Go. Once you have accomplished my order, return here and tell me what you saw. The king does not take back his order. The king takes the holy sword and goes over the hill with his indecisions fell in mind. And the knight hesitates returning the sword for 3 times. Lake was certainly there. He just could not throw the sword in. If he throws the sword in, his king will disappear. The knight is unable to throw away the sword, and has unwillingly missed the part with the king. The knight returns to the king. The king repeats to the knight. As the knight lies to the king that he has thrown away the sword, the king only replies, "Follow his command." To disobey the king's command is a great sin for a knight. Still, he disobeyed the king's order twice. He was reluctant for the king's life, faced the lake. That comes to an end. As knight figures out he cannot change his king's decision, he throws the sword into the lake on his 3rd visit. The holy sword returns to the lake. A white hand appearing from the water receives the sword, and after the sky 3 times, the holy sword vanishes from this world. The knight finally accepts it, the king's end. His duty was too long, finally realized. After crossing the hill 3 times, the forest covered in morning sunlight. The battle is fields afar. The pure light mist does not show any trace of bloody battle. I have thrown the sword into the lake. The sword is returned to the lady of the lake. The king opens his eyes at the knight's words. I see. Then you shall be proud.
ならば胸を
You
張
have
るが
obeyed your king's command. The knight nods silently with the voice facing down. Everything has ended. The chaos in his country will continue. The battle will not end. The day of ruin will come around soon. While the battle of the king has ended. She has fulfilled her duty until the very last moment. The light disappears. Finishing your task, your last strength disappears from the body.
すま
I
ない
am sorry, Butterfield.
今度の
This sleep will be a long. As if she goes to sleep slowly. Gradually closes her eyes. The morning sunlight fills the area. The forest stands there quiet as the king goes to sleep. The knight keeps watch over her figure. The king that he wished for. The lovely king seen off just by one night. But her face, what he wished for. A peaceful sleep. In her last moments, the king has obtained peace that she has never been able to obtain. He was just happy about that fact. The knight thanked someone given her peace and proudly watches over his king. The heaven is far and clearing sky is blue. The battle has truly ended. Are you watching, King Arthur? His murmur through the wind. As the sinking land is blue, the king went to sleep. The continuation of the dream sees a distant tree. The battle is over. Let us put our swords down and rest in momentary peace. After those in a warm dream, a new day will dawn. The days continue on. We are still following the same star we once saw. And thus, that is the. I sadly cannot fully play. Like, you're gonna hear a bit. I cannot play this fully, so I'm gonna have to skip most of it because of copyright. Me having it brief is fine. Go. And we have finished the Fate route. Every time you finish one of the routes, the background changes to fit the version you've received. The route. So in this case, we got the Fate route. It shows the trees. So we're gonna do some things real quick. We'll go to status. We're gonna go flick through some things. I don't think we've. Yeah. Here we go. The all too distant Utopia, Avalon. It's an EX rank barrier noble phantasm. It can only affect one person. The ability of Excalibur's Sheath, the lost third noble phantasm. The sheath of the Holy Sword was excavated by the Einsburn at Cornwall. and returned to the hand of its owner through time. In the legend of King Arthur, the real ability of the Holy Sword, the power of immortality, is in the sheath. It has the ability to heal the wounds of its owner and stop their aging, but it's actually be called Moving Fortress, centered on the individual. By producing the sheath and moving oneself into the land of the fairies, it shuts out all physical interactions. It can even defend against one of sorcery's iteration. Yeah. I don't think anyone else has been... Oh, yes. Arch has been updated with Kotomini Kira. Oh, and Lancer has been updated as well. So we knew most of these already. Power continuation restart and divinity. We kind of knew most of those already. Gallery... Or not gallery. Weapon! We have a new weapon here, I believe. The Avos Sword. An item of ceremonial magical equipment by Ring Treasures. This object is not a weapon as it amplifies the magical energy of its owner, and instead of used as a staff to support and amplify magic usage. It is a popular item of Magic Association, and a common commemorative gift given by masters and parents when entering adulthood. The original is said to be a dagger forged by a man who has established the foundations of present-day alchemy. So that's some fun stuff. We now go look at our ending list. The True End of Fate. Continuation of the Dream. These two are the UBW reps, because we haven't done UBW. In Fate, there is one ending. It is the true end. There is nothing else. There is just bad ends. Which means we're going to go do those right now. In order, actually. We're gonna do these right here. My deck stiffens. I go back home. I look away from the darkness leaving underground. I run, suppressing my raging heart. I can't stand here another second. I want to go back to the building as fast as I can. This place is bad. It's been bad for a long time. This church is a terrible place for Amiyashiro. I should never have entered the building nor met that priest. I reach the chapel. The empty house of God is ominous. I run while looking behind me. It's almost at the exit. There's no one behind me. There's no one behind me. There's no one behind me. I leave the church. I've run without turning back. What did I fear? And what was I trying not to see? The unease in my back remains. Shiro, where have you been all by yourself? Oh, as a gift, I'm surprised. Saber is standing against by the entrance. Oh, I'm home, Saber. It's not... I'm home. How many times have I told you to go outside by yourself? Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I'll be careful next time. There will not be a next time. I'm making confusion. Tell me the reason for going out. Why you got more trouble when your wounds yesterday have not healed, and Gilgamesh could attack at any second. Saber glares sharply at me, but went to the church. I thought I could ask the priest about Gilgamesh's weakness or something. The church, but why not? I consulted him before as supervisor. My Lucante servant. Still here after the last war. It was useless, I failed. I guess it's only natural for you to yell at me. I have you, so we should go to church together. I lowered my head. What's more, an apology? No. If you understand, it's fine. Saber draws her threatening attitude instantly. That's right. Saber was really mad at my stupidity, but she's soft enough to forgive me. I'm not too conceited. It's like her resentment. Being left alone was cancelled just by having me come home. That is true. If you regret your actions, I will overlook this case. It seems I did not act maturely. That's not true. You were waiting for me, right, Saber? Honestly, that really helped me out. My anxieties finally went away when you yelled at me. You were helping my yelling? Yeah, really relieved, knowing they've come back to you. But, yeah, I'm happy to be back. I'm able to see Saber again. If I had gone down those stairs, I feel like I would have never returned. Thinking about it, that choice was a good one. Shiro, how about we cooperate with Lancer? Saber, why did you say that? Past 2 in the afternoon, I look at Saber's slightly belated lunch table. I said we should cooperate with Lancer. Gilgamesh exists outside the rules of the real life. Lancer will not be able to overlook him as well. So he should be able to cooperate with us if our conditions are right. You mean our enemy, his enemy is our ally? Yes. If some collateral were provided, he should ally with us temporarily. Alliance with Lancer, huh? That would certainly might be no other way. We can't match Gilgamesh by ourselves. But if Saber and Lancer can cooperate, we should be able to come up with something. You're right. I don't know if Lancer will ally with us, but one has to ask him. And the problem would be, how do we find Lancer? Lancer's not appeared since last night, and his master's still unknown. I did not think he would stay quiet when the two of us left. Yeah. He's not coming out. It doesn't mean he's scared to fight you one-on-one. Of course not. Lancer is a worthy hero. He would be happy to fight me. It's certainly not reluctant. He's still not appeared, so perhaps he has some reason not to. We both cross our arms and ponder. You guys are well matched this morning. Tosaka! Rin, how long have you been there? We were both surprised at the same thing. For some time now. Shiro was watching Saber, Saber was watching Shiro. I only felt stupid, so I just stayed quiet. Wasn't that the right choice? You guys had such a good atmosphere going. I couldn't intrude. I mean, you're serving a master. Such things are. Fine. I'll say you're right. What about what you were talking about? I agree you should cooperate with Lancer. If that Goldie is the king of heroes, we need to do whatever, even if you have a chance to beat him. Whoa. I don't even know how long she's been listening, but Tosaka understands the situation. It seems while we were eating, she's heard about his true identity of Archer being his Gilgamesh, and his noble phantom exceeds that of Saber's. So I'll go home for a while. I need to get a weapon. So get ready to lure Lancer out. And prepare some medicine for Ilia. Medicine for Ilia? What's something wrong with Ilia? Nothing. Her condition hasn't changed since yesterday. Her breathing is stable and fever is down. She just doesn't have any energy right now. She should wake up and if she gets hungry. So cook her something good when she does. She puts down her empty bowl. Tosaka is nonchalantly eating lunch too. See ya. I'll be back at dinner time. So don't do anything until then. After Tosaka goes home, Saber and I do nothing and just stare at the clock. For some reason the living room is tense. I'm Shiro. I want some more tea. We raise our heads at the same time and freeze as soon as our eyes meet. What is it, Saber? You want to say something? Say it. No, yes, more tea, please. Alright, I'll go prepare some right away. Our passes in this way. If we're not doing anything else, I should be being taught some sword techniques or be resting. Neither Saber nor I mentioned that. I know myself I'm acting strangely. I know, but I want to be with Saber like this for now. No matter how awkward or nervous I am, even though I'm 10th cup of tea, I still want to watch her face. And then, we step in the kitchen, the doorbell rings. A guest? At a time like this. How many people come to my house? Sakura's the only one who the doorbell. She won't come here until cooperation with Tosaka is over. Fujina is for medical care at her house as well. There's no reason to associate much with my neighbors. Shiro. Yeah, come with me, Saber. If something happens, I'll let you deal with it. Yes. I shall protect you no matter what. Who is it? I call out keeping the door closed. I am from the church. I have come to inform you the result of the investigation you requested. My breathing stops for a second. That guy on the other side of the door. The guy I went to see this morning. Sure, what's wrong? You seem pale. No, I'm fine. Okay, now open the door. I'll send him away if you don't want him to come in. First night we met, Saber didn't enter the church. I remember that, so I checked with him. I do not mind. I shall abide your decision. I answered the door, not open the door. You took some more. I was unwilling to see me. No, I was just surprised. I didn't think you would come to see me. You have something to talk about, right? Come in. I pulled back and tried to come to me in the living room, but no. We can talk here standing. I have discovered only a bit, so the conversation should be quick. Rish pulls back, tries to leave the hall. Where are you going with me? I told you we shall speak standing up, but I cannot do so. With that servant. If she threatens like that, I prefer to value my life. Where's Saber? Who's behind me?
セイバ
Saber. Kotomine is right. Saber is emitting a terrible, murderous intent that even makes me
前
pet.
回のマスターが何の用
What
で
is a master from the last war doing?
あなたはキリ
I
ツに
remember
撃
that
ち殺
Kiritsugu
さ
shot
れ
and
た
killed you.
確かにな。
Certainly. When I
Master
read to the
Ochi.
master and raised my hands,
両手を
he
上
shot
げ
me
たと
from
こ
the
ろで
back.
背後から撃ち抜
If
か
I
れた。
didn't have God's divine protection, I would have
私
died
だ
then.
がそれがどうした
What
ん
of
だ
it? It must be like
お
yesterday.
前にとっては先
What
日
did
の
happen 10 years ago
話
for
だ
me?
ろうが。
Are you going to bring up that fight that has already ended? Saber's murderous intent doesn't weaken at all. Saber, he's
コ
right.
トミネの言う通
Forget
り
about the last word for now.
シロ
True.
ですが
This man cannot be
こ
taken
の
lightly.
男は油断なりません
Kiritsugu targeted this priest before
キ
the
リツ
enemies
グは
because
真
he
っ
was
先
an
にこの
enemy
神父を標的にし
and
た
had to be defeated before anything else.
光栄だな。
That's an honor.
最後まで残ったお
If the
前
one
た
that
ちに
survived
そう言わ
the
し
end
めた
said
の
that
な
of
ら
me, perhaps I'm not that bad.
そ
I
の
could
ような
just win. Your chance is crap. If things go, I really won't do
待って
something.
くれセイ
What
バ
would Saber?
コトミネにはギルガメシュについて調べてもらっていたんだ
You already know his true identity.
もうあいつの正
Everything
体は
else about
判
him
明
is a
し
mystery,
今
right?
は少しでもあいつを知る
Though we
必
need
要
to
が
know
あるんじゃない
as
のか
much as we can. And now, it's true, but
私はどちらで
I
も
might
いい
have
ぞ。
might not be
そ
useful.
れに、
It's not like I
私
have
とて
no
思う
feelings.
かつてこの胸を打ち抜いた男
I feel
のサ
bad
ーバ
getting
ント
such a
に
rude pressure.
ここま
Because
で
of the
物
man who
質な
shot.
殺気を向け
As
ら
I'm
れ
an
ては
experienced.
気分が悪い。
I might be able to. This priest should.
それは私とて同じだ
That means what? I'm not just an old enemy. The two glare at each other. This isn't good.
セイバ下がっていてくれ
I'm going to talk to Koto.
シロ
No, this man is dangerous.
この男は危険
You
だ
talk.
話
I will.
けど
I know how you feel.
気持ちはわかる
Sure,
が
I won't
俺だ
die
ってマ
easily
ス
if,
ターの端くれだ
if something happens.
もし何かあって
And
もすぐ
I'm
には
right
やら
away
な
if
いし
something did, right?
セイバ
Nothing
ーだ
dangerous is going to happen.
当然だ。
Of course not. A
人
human
の
cannot
身
outwit
で
us.
精味やしろ。
Amisha.
お前の
Seems your
サーバン
servant
ト
is
は
excessive.
あんたもあ
Don't
んまり
provoke
挑
her too
発
much.
とにかく話を聞
I'll
く
listen to you. I'll have Saber stay away, so that's enough, right?
いや、ここ
I
で
don't feel
は
like
気が乗らん。
There's no way to run if Saber attacks.
確か中には
There should be a
あったはずだ
courtyard. I can
あ
at
そ
least
こな
run
ら
for
セ
a
ー
few
バー
seconds.
が乱心しても
There,
数
you
秒
Saber
は
goes
逃げら
mad.
れる。
You could stop
そ
her
れだ
at
けの
time
ま
with your
ない
command.
ぜ
Fine,
Kedo.
but that won't happen.
セイバ
Saber,
縁側
stay
で
by the
待機して
porch.
いてくれ
I'll call for you if something happens.
はい
Yes, if you say so, Master. Remember, sir, Gilgamesh just shows up and murders you.
ここ
This
な
is
ら
good.
よしだ。
This is an open space, and I can
見晴らし
see
も
the
いい。
mansion clearly. I move about 2 meters away. It's hard to hear when he speaks softly, but I can react to anything this way, no matter what he does.
ね
So, what did you find out, Kotomi?
うん。
Hmm?
あ
Oh, I would like to confirm one
So
thing
mine.
with you before that. Full of compassion. Priest takes one slow step toward me.
朝は留守にしてす
I'm
まん。
sorry I was away this morning. Here, you forgot this. A thump. You throw something on the ground.
結界の
The sound of a bounded. The alarm goes off. The bounded field father put up. The alarm that reacts to the intruder's malicious intent goes off.
騒ぎの元は乱殺。
Lancer is the cause of the disturbance.
目的
He
が
must
あ
have
って
entered
屋
this
敷に
place
押
with
し
some
入った
reason in mind. I can't hear words too well. The thing threw to my feet. Of it since. Looks like it can only be the corpse of a small child.
セイバーが迎え撃っ
The saber went to the enemy.
室内で
cannot
は
fight
あの
with full
本領
power
は
inside
発
the
揮
building.
できん。
The enemy.
イリ
You
アス
need
フィ
only
ール
one
を
move
去
to kidnap Ilias Field. The thing. Child's corpse isn't a corpse. It's alive. Its limbs are cut off. There's one. Your head and the body. The skin is peeled off and the meat is rotting. But the child is alive. The skin is peeled off and the face like a specimen. So why? Sharp, heavy object pierces my heart from behind.
人の身でサーバントを
A
出
human
し
cannot
抜
outwit a
く
servant.
当然だな。
Of course, only servants can outwit other servants. I don't care about the priest's sword for laughter. I don't mind my heart's been just pierced and spewing blood mouth like a horse. You die. The end. Hi, are you doing well? I'm sure everybody hates scary places, so you decided to wait and see. But it turns out you're trapped in. Time for the tiger, Jojo. The Cupid quarter to comfort those who suffered surprise attacks. Right now, Saber-chan and Let's trying to get out from the mansion. My senior student was captured, and Shiro is dead in the yard. What is the morals in this place? Kids these days are so rude that it makes me sad. Well now, for you who died before the climax, land of virtue avoid danger is a good phrase, but you cannot reach the goal by avoiding things. Go back to the choices and challenge the darkness in the journey. Ready to die. The story is almost at the climax. Long night is about to end. Will Saber-chan's wish come true? What are the assertions in Shiro's mind? And is there a way to defeat the King of Heroes? Next episode, Utopia. You come this far, so I want you to go straight to the ending without stopping. Alright. Now we're going to do the Blitz run, aka Tiger Dojo 13. Here we go! Tiger Dojo 13, where I basically am pretty sure there's basically nothing left for me to do. Pretty much, like, it's just follow. Oh, whoops. I said don't stand up, didn't I? Good job. Stand up. There we go. We go down the stairs. However, something no one could blame her for. She looks at the blank amazement, thing at her feet. Her fingers are numb and she can't tell what she's feeling. There's only one truth she can recognize. Her master's life has been ended by his own protector's action. Shiro. She only considered it. She wished for the Holy Grail only for an instant. That wish disappeared in an instant and she valued his life. But there was still enough time for her to be driven by evil. Thinking about it once was enough. Her strained mind crumbled with that small weakness. No, Shiro. She reaches out for her small master. There's nothing sublime in her figure, lifting the neck of the boy. Well done, Saber. That lamentation is indeed appropriate to receive the Holy Grail. A voice echoes through the darkness. As if answering his call, she accepts the Holy Grail in a daze. This is the blatant demand of reflection of lost child on the matters incomprehensible to outsiders. The Tiger Dojo! Well, this is the 13th dojo already. You should start to notice that this corner is meaningless. I'm sure a lot of you know that. What do you think? Then I will frankly state my opinion. It is meaningless. Everything is undone. I should just go back to your previous choice. Honestly, too detestable. Such lies are misleading. But this dojo isn't as simple as that. Well, as proof of this, for dating games, the bad path and unrelated choices, people may even start to game over because they need one more point. Right, the heart-pounding system everybody hates. Bad end from affection score check! Alright, we can finally give proper advice, Tiger. Then let us start practicing. What is the cause of this bad end? Since Saber's affection score did not reach a certain level, she abandoned Shiro. Our advice comes down to the following 3 points. First, no choice after day 12 will add any affection points for Saber, which is actually something true. If I actually look at my little list, yeah, day 13 and beyond has absolutely nothing related to it. And basically all the choices here, not necessarily all of them affect the affection score really, but most of them basically try to keep it as low as possible. For example, the follow Shinji one just doesn't add any. Rather than not actually take any away. A few of them actually take them away. For example, I believe the when you ask for the secret attack, I believe that actually takes points away. Now, these points are in all the routes. But they're not, like, you can't actually see them. They're more of, basically you should be careful on the specific version of the options you pick, even if they lead to the same ending. That's what this is trying to tell you. The Fate route is intended this way. Everything here is basically, well, you either succeed or you don't. And it's only slightly. Which is nice. If you want to redo things, do it from before that. Gosh, what is that? It should have been bad end day 12. Is this a fundamental problem? Second, I think it's obvious, but always put Saber first in your choices. Balancing it with Tosaka-san would lead directly to this end. Yeah, this is the same thing as in the UBW route, because Tosaka's the heroine of that. Same thing. Heavensfield is also the same way, but in Heavensfield you have to deal with not one but two affection scores. And that one is... I would probably say Heavensfield is not the hardest. The hardest is probably UBW because certain choices are stupid and you can really mess up your affection score. But with Heavensfield, you need to be careful because you have two different people in the route. One is the major heroine, one's a minor heroine. So Rin's the obstructive character. I guess means you do clear Saber route first if you want to get close to Rin. Third, the affection score should have been met if you've been playing normally. If you're going to restart, it's best to restart from around day 7. You pass the requirements by day 8 at the earliest. Yeah, you can get, like, basically we intentionally chose all the bad options. Most of the options do give you Saber points. If you stay at home, 1 Saber point affection point would be added. But I guess you won't need it if you've been playing properly. That is all. Oh, this feels so good. I finally fulfilled my reason to exist. Yes, I can finally be proud of myself. Oh, but Taiga, most people pass Saber's affection score check, right? Yeah, Shiro isn't the type to ignore Saber chat. You normally wouldn't end up like this. Taiga, it's really hard to say this, but if it's that rare, well, then not many people would come to this dojo. Oh. It's probably alright. The skip function and Tiger stamps are intended just for this. Everyone desperately play in strange ways to get this done. Yeah. By that point, everyone who hate this bad end with the weird conditions. So, in other words, your dojo that tries to make everyone play happy actually made them troublesome players trying to fully complete this game. Identity crisis. Explosion endings are the worst. There we go. And then finally, the final day, right before the decisive battle. Either of these options, either of them, other than have a strategy meeting, will all lead to dojo number 14. Why? Because you're not giving Saber her sheath. I actually spent many hours. I thought about it, but this is where I ended up. This place does not change. I like the quiet of the living room, but this place suits me better. Yeah. I like the Japanese style even though you're a knight. Yoshi and I look pretty good on you as well. It might have been fun having a match with armors on. Armor. You should have said so. I could have worn my armor. You could have put pads on. We really should have done that. You mentioned it earlier. I could have taken it more seriously. But Dipper's cute, but she is annoyed. She's cute, but her words can be pretty scary. Are you serious about being serious? I wouldn't be able to for a week if we did that. No, that's not true. You're not just to meet yourself. You really have improved the past few days. Might even possible if you take a match with me. Even if it's flattery, I'm just really happy. I really respect Saber when it comes to swords. Being able to beat her even once, it's like being accepted by Korea. So I could once you, if chance favored me. Yes, you have vastly improved. You can be proud of that. I'm really happy as well. Replies with a full smile. That expression makes me determined and vanish. After this, we won't be able to come back. Run away is one winnable battle. Shiro, why have you stopped? Is your wound? In that case, please. No, I'm fine. Nothing hurts anymore. I cut off all hesitations. I can't run away. I'm really fine. Since we're here, why do you want to spar lightly? Not a match. More like playing around. I had my emotions to bluff as much as I can. Alright. Then I shall fight you using my style. You can fight me using your style as well. You must understand my intentions. She gladly accepts my idea. Yeah. It's more like us to be fighting rather than talking. For a short while, we forget about everything and feel each other's shina. Basically, this is more or less the same one. Like, it's basically, it's going to go through pretty much the same type of thing as we did before. But, basically, pretty much most of the text there is basically the same, but basically when you get engulfed, y'all fucked. Not having a weapon when it's needed. This is the place that helps the people. The Tiger Dojo! That's a prevailing view of the battle outcome is decided before it even starts. What does that mean, student? I guess you shouldn't fight until you have a weapon or your plan. The enemy's unfair servant that prepared strongest force with his money. So you should at least prepare one weapon that lets you turn things around. And Taiga, are you saying you should restart from the night before the fight to earn a new weapon? What can you do in such a short time? You can do this. Saber Chen originally had 3 noble phantasms. You should be able to do something to prepare the last one. I see. You just have to get back to it, right? Render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's. It's something too valuable to lose, but you have to give it back what you found. You said something good by your standards. I guess you're a school teacher even when you're bad one of that. Praise me, praise me! Yeah. Then while Tiger's in a good mood, we will make a major announcement. This quarter is continued modestly as a side to the main story, but this is the final episode. We'll use a different outlook to start Tiger Dojo Part 2, Tiger 100 million yen debt. We're going to move setting to my castle, update standing pics, music, and even hardware. Production budget will double, and it will be so rich you won't be able to think about this as a bonus corner. So many wonderful things. I don't quite understand, but it's like getting a totally new graphics design. That's right, Master. You'll be free from this rough art. Marvelous. In that case, let's get away from this dojo right away. And everyone, I'll be waiting for your renewed Tiger Dojo. And therefore, we have obtained everything in Fate. Tiger Dojos 1 to 14, the ending, and that's it actually, basically. I really don't want to say that because unlike UBW and Evansfield, which have 2 endings each, UBW has its good ending and its true ending. And Heavensfield has its normal end and its true end. So in UBW, the good end is basically the true end is just the ending. Fact. The good end is basically better than what happened in the true end, but it's not canon. The true end is what they classify as canon. With Heavensfield, there's the normal end, which is if you fuck up with that second affection stat, and then the true end where you didn't fuck up with that stat. There's several ways actually to get those endings because they actually give you a lot of options, but you have to be careful. However, because you've noticed we've gotten some of the tiger stamps, we got a little miniature treat. What do we got? Don't worry about it. Seba, you messed up. That's the fun you get. Oh my lord, this almost took 4 hours. Wow. I'm impressed. Well, nevertheless, starting after this, we're going to hold off on Fate for a little while. We're going to come back to reading a little bit later. We're going to go back to we'll be doing some normal stuff, some streaming, some good stuff. We'll be back to doing UBW, hopefully later. You'll also notice that the background music is different than before because, hey, UBW will be, I think it's a majority of the bad ends. It's also, I think, the shortest overall in terms of days, because I think it actually ends on day 14 instead of 15, like the other 2. So it should be just fine. Once we get back to it, it'll basically be similar as before, as I've started doing now, where ever since I think it's been day 6, basically doing a day per stream, or in the case of 12 and 13, doing two days in a row. 2 days in a row is a bit harder, but as I've shown, I can do about 4 hours of streaming, no problem. But I did, I figured out very quickly that I couldn't really do, like, it was 11 and 12, and I couldn't do 13 and 14. No, 14, 15, excuse me. Because I realized, oh wait, 14 was already like 2 to 3 hours. I can't just do 15 now. So this is basically the end of Fate. If you want to check out the whole thing is in the gigantic list, I guess, playlist now, of about 15 parts. It'll be a bit longer than 15 parts. That will include the prologue and all the days up to it. Hopefully it'll be a good time. And if you haven't ever read Fate, I do recommend reading it. You can listen to this while reading it. The problem is actually getting your grubby mitts on a copy of Fate. It's a bit annoying. I had to go through many hoops to technically own a legal copy. Would probably be the best statement. To own a legal copy is incredibly annoying. Then with everything else, it's not overly difficult once you actually get the legal copy. Once you do that, it's just apply patches and you're good. Yeah, if you want to go watch it, all of them in playlist. You can listen to it. That was most of the point of it. This was more meant for people who either want to walk through for it, or just wanted to basically have the equivalent from an audiobook to listen to for a while. As I've shown, I go through the Tiger Dojos as well. I try to avoid going crazy with the Tiger Dojos, mostly because I don't trust myself with them. But I do enjoy going through them, and the Tiger Dojos, trust me, are going to get even better from here. So, I'll see you here next time when we will eventually read UBW. If you don't want to bother sitting through my UBW session, I recommend go watching the Ufotables UBW. It is a very faithful adaptation.